And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to CoraL. Today we have absolutely two banging games. We have Coordination Intellect looking to pick up their first point against Shuriman University Crabs, who've established themselves as quite a force in the league so far. Notably doing quite a lot of random crap, but we love to see it. It's fun and entertaining. And then afterwards we have Coordination Inferno taking on Paper Squad. You may have seen my paw pun about origami, but I'm using it anyway, so I'm sorry if you saw that one. But today we have a new caster with us. We have Arlan, so introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, good folks. I'm Arlant. I'll be casting with you guys today. As you can tell by my accent, I'm not European, but hopefully that doesn't stop us from getting along.
No, exactly. We have Arlan all the way from overseas, a bit of NA gaming. Gonna bring that LCS major region, as we like to call it. Gonna bring that knowledge coming over. Sorry to flame you a little bit there, had to. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We deserve it.
So yeah, today's going to be an interesting one. Coordination Intellect have recently got a brand new roster with commitments from a couple of players not being able to commit themselves to some games, unfortunately, just running teams. They're about to draft together a brand new roster with a couple of players, I believe, still from the same team, carrying on. I believe Lee is one of them as well, and I think Bacon, who was also a player before, and they're still carrying on. But they drafted some new players, notably one of the legends who's moved down the league a lot is Atomica, played for LPM, played for ARC, and now he's playing for Q&I, so a little bit of a team hawk, but you know, the mark. So yeah, we've got him playing today, and then a couple of people that they've drafted in for their last two series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Might see a Dari support Arlon, who knows? Might see that coming out from University Crabs.
I'm ready for it. You warned me that they might do some interesting stuff, so I'm ready for it. Whatever it may be, Darius support, style support.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, we need to see it at some point, so like, I'm hoping that we see it soon, for sure. But then next, we've got Coordination Inferno against Paper Squad. The Ocean League is very close. Quite a lot of teams are struggling. Quite a lot of teams are realistically in a very, very close part. The points are very close, and I think it's a case of whoever really now can pull it out of the bag, really. Coordination Inferno have done very well so far in this league, and so have Paper Squad. Both have very good rosters, but that's going to be an interesting one coming up afterwards. As soon as this one finishes, really, as soon as the team is ready. It's planned for 8 o'clock. I just realised the times are completely wrong in the league, so I do apologise. Let me just fix that. I am sorry.
Oh man.
It is not
Yeah,
Friday.
but I'm definitely looking forward to some absolutely banger games today between the Crabs and the Q&I.
Yeah.
And Q&I 1 and 2. Ooh, both squads are playing today. Interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely ready for it, yeah. Eager to analyze how the Europeans play the North Americans.
Yeah, no, you definitely picked a good day to cast. And for sure it should be good. Sorry, I was making sure the music was all good. For sure it should be good for you to analyse, really, and see how it gets along. But in the meantime, we'll talk about a bit what's happened so far. So Q&I haven't managed to pick up any points just yet. Pretty new roster to the league. Have had a couple of players play before. But that being said, it means that they now, with this new roster, although they haven't played together a lot, they have quite a lot of good players on there. Bobo, quite a good top lane player. Notably plays a lot of set, I believe. Atomica, quite an established mid lane player as well, been playing quite a lot, and quite a vocal player as well, so I expect him to potentially be the shot caller of the team.
Right.
Who knows? We'll find out, I guess. But Shuriman University Crabs, you never know what to expect from them, really, whether it's them swapping roles, whether it's them getting a Darius support or something completely random that we're never going to know about. But quite a lot of good players in there. Gablet especially, everyone knows who Gablet is, the admin of the league, the legend that is Gablet. He knows quite a lot about the game and quite a macro based player, I'd like to say.
Right.
So I think it's going to be close. Might see a Nar coming out. I mean, his name is Narbage Day after all in the top lanes. Well, I think he's playing jungle today, actually. I think Fernal is in the top lane. Last time, Arlan, what happened is they played against LPM, my team. They swapped around, and it worked quite well for him, actually. Picked a Ramashumi, and as you can imagine, that pained us to see. It was not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a nasty little combo right there.
Yeah, it really was. But yeah, anyway, so Fernali played Ornn last time, I believe, in the top lane, and did very, very well. I think Narbage Day decided to swap out because he was on his laptop, I think, and 30 FPS top laning isn't the most fun thing to do in the world.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Anything at 30 FPS, regardless of the game, is not a fun experience.
Yeah, no, 100% not very fun. One thing I want to update you guys on is that if you can see the like graphic sheets, the team sheets on the screen, if they're not updated, it's because there's so many to do and I simply do not have the time. So I'm going to update them more than likely at playoffs time. Arlandric following, I'm assuming that's you.
That's me. Yes, that's me.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, sir.
No problem. No problem. Have to report the league that I'm casting for.
Of course. Subscribe now. No, I'm joking. You have to.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about all that now.
Yeah, for sure. But we're going to get the draft set up in a minute. Just waiting for teams to get sorted realistically. I'll send the links to the team.
Now that's where the fun begins, the drafting. Like, drafting is such... It's a sport. It's not a sport, but it's a game in and of itself. It's something that me and my coach over back in North America, it's something that we do quite a lot. We draft against each other just to see who would have the better draft on paper. Generally, he wins. It's pretty heavily skewed in his favor, like 40% of the time. Like 60% of the time, his draft will win over mine. But it's still something that, at the highest level, impacts the game so much. Like you saw it recently, Team Liquid, I do believe, versus Jinji in the Worlds Tournament. No, it wasn't Jinji. It was Team Liquid versus Damwon, possibly?
Yeah.
I think they drafted Irelia Sejuani, which is a super strong combo. It's the ideal standard for mid duo, right? Like the Sejuani doesn't need that much gold. The Irelia gets all the gold, but it's they're so synergistic together, right? But then they responded with a Trundle Silas, the perfect counter to that. Silas beats Irelia and Sejuani in the 1v1 or the 1v2. He beats them both 1v1 individually. Trundle does the same, and together their 2v2 just completely stomps the Irelia Sejuani. So it's just drafting like that that just rules the world right now. Like if you can draft, you will succeed.
100%. I mean, a lot of drafting just comes down to mind games, right? You pretty much said it yourself. As long as you can essentially scout any opposing team well enough, and you know their general tendencies of what they like to play, whether what comp they play or whether it's what lanes they like to play around. I mean, you pretty much said it yourself. If they can get the perfect counter like we saw in the Trundle, then
exactly
you can pretty much ensure the game's almost over before it starts sometimes. But in lower based elos like you see today, it can come down to comfortability, I think, a lot in draft. And I think a lot of the times we just like to see players pick stuff they're comfortable on and that they know the matchups to. So you've got Atomica, who's an Azir player,
right.
Loves the champion, knows Malzahar, for example, as well, knows the champions well, knows the matchups well. Narbage Day, it's in his name. So if he picks the knife, if he was playing top lane, for example, and I think it comes down to a lot of, like I said,
Yeah, absolutely.
It comes down to a lot of the comfortability. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Apologies for the delay, guys. We're just waiting for the jungler from Q&I to join. And I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher names at some point because Shuriman University crabs apparently are now called sexual nondescript humanoids. So I'm going to call you crabs or I don't know, nondescript crabs. I don't know how that works.
Nondescript crab.
or sex crabs. I'm being told to call you. So yeah, okay, it's one of them.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll find out. I don't know, man. But yeah, no, we'll find out soon. I believe Lee, who is the jungler for Q and I, they unfortunately can't get a hold of him right now or them.
Ooh, that's not
So
good.
yeah, Mushy Camel, I think, is their sub, I believe. And they're getting them to come join, and we'll be playing support or jungle depending on where they opt for, which I think means that it'll be Atomica in the jungle the way they're lined up currently, but I'm not actually sure. We'll find out when they line up properly.
Yeah.
Atomica normally is a mid player, but I think he was training to be ADC, I think. I'm not
Ooh.
sure. So yeah, I'm not actually sure at all where they're going to line up, to be honest with you, but both teams like to switch up and change roles now and again. So that's quite fun to see, though, right? Because you don't see the typical champion pools they used to.
Yeah. Um, yeah, like back to your point about what you were saying about, lower elo versus higher elo. It's it's an interesting scenario, right? Like it's an interesting dichotomy. You have high elo players with massive champ oceans, and that's great, right?
Yeah.
Like you know generally what's meta and what's not, so it's harder to draft against them, but at the same time it's easier to draft because they're only going to draft the best things for each role. But they can
100%.
play everything, so it's
Hmm.
still a little bit iffy. But they're not going to put a Garen into like the best champion in the game, right? So you know
Hmm.
you don't have to worry about that. For lower elo teams, it is a harder thing, but at the same time, it's also easier, right? It's
Yeah.
just roles are reversed. They only play a certain champ, but they are more willing to bust out the uniques, the one tricks, the Garens, the Dariuses, the champions, the Aurelion Souls, the champions that don't see much time at a high level, but on a lower level, any champ has a time to shine.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Aurelion Sol. Yeah, every time a
Okay,
champion's OP, let's nerf Aurelion Sol. Yes.
better nerf Aurelion
Yeah,
Soul.
the legend. But yes, no, you're absolutely right. The champions that aren't typically meta, as you said, sometimes come out because people are more comfortable on them and other matchups, and some people in the low base elos might not know how to play against it as well as people in higher base elos, well, as you said. So could see a couple that coming out today. And like I said, with sexual nondescript humanoids, using their randomness really to pick random stuff. I know they quite like to randomly roll champions sometimes.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it could be interesting, but it's fun to watch. So why do you not want to see that? There is currently a poll in the chat. So vote and see who you think is going to win today. Whether it's going to be the sex crabs or whatever the name is. I'm sorry, you're gonna get called everything under the sun today, or whether it's gonna be a coordination and intellect winning their first game or picking up a point in the
Yeah,
series.
I'm definitely eager to see how they do it, with the Krabby team being so chaotic and wild.
Hmm. That being
They
said, though,
definitely
even
they
though
definitely have a chance.
yeah, 100%. I was about to say that. Yeah, them although they're quite chaotic, they are quite good players, and a lot of the time they know what they're doing. Right, they know like they have the idea behind. There's a method to their madness. Almost is probably the best way to describe it. It's almost like organized chaos sometimes, but it works out well for them. So, as I said, yeah, a lot of the time they like to just lock in Seraphine and win. Yes, I hate that
Seraphine
champion.
Seraphine, so
So
disgustingly
I
good.
hate
So
Seraphine.
disgustingly
Or
good.
against us, they're locking Yumi, and screw you.
Yumi's also very good.
Screw you. I'm still not over it. All right. Apparently that. Okay. I won't say anything. I promise. I promise I won't say anything. Um, but yeah. I'll get an update and see what's going on. Any update?
I'm just trying to get the jungler in here.
Yeah, I think they're still waiting on the jungler. Oh, it looks like it's a bit of a draw on the poll, 50-50 either way. So, not fully sure what's going on right now. People a bit unsure if who's going to win. Apologies for the delay, guys. Like I said, they're trying everything to get the person into just be be in the game,
Be
really.
there.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but in the meantime, we can
In the
talk.
meantime.
We can talk about World. Let's talk about something else. Have you got any
Oh,
predictions? Who do you think's gonna
World.
win?
T1.
You think T1?
Dude,
Oh,
I, man, ever since I started playing this game, and I was like, who's the best player in the world? It said Faker. I went with Faker all the way. I will never get off the Faker train. That
no.
man he's such a legend. Like, I recently read an article somewhere that talked about the evolution of Faker from this mechanical god to the stalwart of the team. Like, he neutralizes the enemy mid laner. And I saw it firsthand. Like, you see his style of play. He neutralizes the enemy mid. He doesn't allow him to roam. He doesn't allow him to influence the map. And he lets the younger players on his team take the stage, like Kana or their bot lane, Kiri and Guma. Those guys are going crazy right now. The highest KDAs in the game, respectively, or in the tournament, respectively. Those guys are going crazy. So I have high hopes for this T1 squad. But on the other side, there is Damwon. Damwon being the best team in the world, hasn't dropped a single map to anybody. And even the closest game, where they were down like, what, 5K gold to Mad Lions? They still came back, and it was so crazy to me. So if it's not T1, it's Damwon. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's 100% going to be very close between that. Like you said, down one's the typical one people chose. I mean, sadly, I chose FPX, but they crashed out.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Don't even bring it up. That was tragic.
They looked good.
So good.
But in the playoffs prior in the LPL, but then they just fell apart. But I think there was a lot of internal issues in that team, so sadly didn't happen, unfortunately for them. But no, Damwon are definitely a good team. I don't feel like they've had the competition yet, though. As in, they've played Rogue, they've played C9, right? They played FPX, who were nowhere near the standard they played yet. They should have lost their second game to Mad Lions. They nearly did, but unfortunately Mad just fell off it. Rogue nearly beat him at one point.
Yeah.
So they haven't played a good team yet.
Yeah, and it's like Rogue put them so close to the edge of defeat. And I frankly don't consider Rogue that good of a team. They're good, but I don't consider them that good of a team. But T1 is just head and shoulders above Mad Lions, and their early game is the strongest at the tournament, T1's. And that's the issue that Damwon faced. Their early game was so much weaker than Mad Lions. And I think if T1 had that 5K goal lead at 10 or 15 minutes, it's game over from there, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would like T1 to win just so like
The storyline.
Yeah, and I want Faker to get another title before he retires. Realistically, because more than likely he's gonna have to do the Korean military at some point.
Yeah, that's coming up in what, 2 years? I think.
Yeah, I mean Khan is having to do it. I think it's his last ever Worlds for Khan. I think he's having to do the same. So, yeah, I would like to see him win something. I don't want Damwon to win because it's typical. But anyway, we'll talk about it a bit later. We finally got someone in. I think.
Finally, let's
no,
go.
wait, I don't. He's not here anymore. I'm confused. Oh, he is. Sorry, he is. Sorry, yeah. Atomic is just in the thing here. But yeah, okay, cool. We finally got someone in. They've got TLH Unleashed from TLH in their team. Couldn't get a hold of their backup, and when they got hold of the other backup, he went into an earth. So yeah, painful. Generally, when you get an emergency sub in the league, if people don't know, it means the opposing team can choose for the other team to lose their bans for the first game. Just gonna find out and get confirmation. If that's going to happen.
That'd be pretty huge. That's huge. Even losing a single ban is massive. So any more than that is yikes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find out. Just gonna find out confirmation. Definitely going to keep chat on this game because I feel like it's going to be a lot of banter going back and forth this game.
That is the best way.
Yeah, so I definitely think it's going to be worth keeping chat on this game at some point. But yeah, going to get into the game real soon. Very, very nice. Sexual nondescript humanizers letting the opposing team use their bans. How kind.
Very kind.
Yeah, extremely. Gonna get to game in a minute. Just waiting
Well,
for
in the draft in a
into
minute.
draft. Yeah, gonna get waiting for Q and I to ready up. I feel like I've been talking for half an hour. I just want to start the draft.
17 minutes.
Yeah, if only it was the. Oh, finally getting into it. I'll switch over the stream, guys, and we'll get into the draft.
Very nice. So yeah, immediately the Swain and Zac ban's coming out. So usually when you're banning, the banning strategy is to, in this current meta, is to get some supports early on, either side, finish your bot lane out, and get a jungler. Because you really want to save those impactful
Yeah.
laning picks for the last two. And it's generally better to blind pick. It depends on who your PowerPoint is for the game. If you want to blind pick top, then your PowerPoint's going to be mid, and you need something huge and impactful that just changes the game around. Vice versa, if your blind pick is mid. So, yeah,
Sorry, I'm
gonna be
having,
looking
having
at.
some problems on the stream. Give me a minute to to figure out the drafts.
No problem. I can keep talking.
Yeah, go for it. You can talk us through while we wait for it to get started anyway.
Yeah, so Q&I is going to be banning Swain, Volibear, Akshan, and sexual nondescript humanoids will be banning Echo, Vayne, and Zac. So yeah, I'm expecting. Well, I don't really know what to expect, but one of the strongest supports right now, and one of the strongest AD carries, is Misfortune, Amumu, Yumi, in fact. Braum, of course, just because Misfortune's so strong, Thresh. But it's going to be the first blind pick Gnar. Now, this is super, super, what's the word? Countable, right? Like,
Yeah.
you have options to go into the Gnar, even if he is
I'm a nightmare here, sorry.
a one trick.
The stream isn't working for some reason. I'm just trying to figure it out. Sorry about this, guys.
Hey, no problem. Take your time. But yeah, so it's looking like they're going to pick the Ornn into it. Not sure about that. That's really a passive response to it. You can pick something so much more aggressive into the Gnar, you know. You've got options such as another long-range poke matchup to really neutralize the Gnar's advantage. You got an all-in champion like Camille. Uh, yeah, you have the Gangplank if you want to play even more safe, but the Ornn is, of course, a safe pick that just allows you to sit back and scale. So they're going to pair that with Diana. Now, Diana is a flexible pick. It can go jungle, it can go support. You're going to be looking at that position for the Diana. Her jungling was nerfed a little bit, so I generally take her mid, and I find it super, super fun right there. Super game-changing ultimate, with, just to pull in 5 people, kill them all, free Penta. And then they're going to respond with the Kha'Zix Braum. So Q&I is going to have the Gnar Kha'Zix Braum. That's showing a little bit too much of your hand here, so you just have options. And yeah, with the Braum pickup, you can go Zyra. That completely neutralizes Braum and lane, and just allows you to combo so much engage off of that. And they're going to add a Samira on top of that, so you're looking at sexual nondescript humanoids with the Ornn, Diana, and Samira.
100%. Yeah, finally got the stream sorted, guys. Sorry, I was trying
Very
to fix.
good.
I'm trying to fix the windows, and I'm just going to display my screen for now because I was having an absolute nightmare. So sorry if you saw a random blink of stuff. I do not know what I did wrong, but yeah, thank you for talking through that draft so far, Alan.
problem.
Very good job.
No problem.
We see the Corki being banned out from Sexy Nondescript Humanoids, banning that away from their mid laner, and we've got Morgana being banned out as well. Maybe just assume that it could be played jungle, or I don't know, support still, or maybe top lane, or there's loads of places Morgana can play. Looking like a Camille's being hovered here though for Section Nondescript Humanoids. Strange one, but I do know why this is being hovered. Atomica is not a fan of Camille at all. They're just trolling with Atomica, yes. They was trolling with him, hovering that, but it is the Seraphine being locked in, as they said before. If they're not sure, they're locking Seraphine. So, we said it before, Seraphine can just change a team fight really in total. We've got the Ornn and the Diana combo, as Alan mentioned, but now with the Seraphine ultimate as well, they're looking to team fight realistically, as long as Samira can get that passive stacked up. Looks like the Fizz is going to be hovered as well and locked in, actually. I think the Fizz is quite a clever pick here, right? You've got quite a lot of champions that jump onto, and Fizz can just use that Trickster E to get away from it.
Yeah, it's they're going full dive here for Q and I, and they're only the only thing I'm worried about is properly timing that Braum because he needs to block so much stuff here, right? He needs to block the Ornn ultimate. He needs to block the Seraphine ultimate. He needs to um, disengage for his team, knock away Diana, stun up Samira. He has so much he needs to do, and the rest of his team just goes in and dives, 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 right? Pairing that with the Jinx, while Jinx is one of the best ADCs right now, she recently shot up in win rate ever since the buffs. I just don't think it's the right call to pair it with the Jinx because you have so many threats you have to worry about as a Jinx and the Braum combo that it would have probably wouldn't been better just to get something else that wants to go in or at least enables that, like the Ashe or the Sivir, or
Yeah.
even the Misfortune's up. So you can just combo that over the top and just layer on damage. That's one of the strongest ADCs in the game. On the opposite side, though, the Samira does have the wind wall. She can block the Fizz ultimate. She can block the Jinx rocket, but she has to time it perfectly. So the air for margin on these two teams, both are so incredibly slim in terms of things that you need to block, but they have so many options, right? So I'm gonna give it to Q and I for this game. I'm gonna give the draft advantage about 55-45% over to them because if this Kha'Zix can get rolling, if this Nara can really abuse the top side of the map, or this Fizz can roam around and get kills, then it's gonna be massive. But on the opposite side, if this Lissandra can neutralize the Fizz, if this Samir and Seraphine combo can consistently jump on the Jinx and outplay this Braum, or this Diana can really get around the map and outduel Kha'Zix, then they have avenues in this way, and they have a lot of avenues into this way. But yeah, that's just what I'm gonna be looking at personally.
Yeah, no, you're completely right there. I think we're gonna see a mix of looking to scale and realistically looking to disengage a lot from Q and I think, although sectional script humanoids do scale quite well. You've got a Fizz that can almost one-shot carries. And you said it yourself. They've got the Kha'Zix, right, and the Jinx. The Braum, very good disengage. But one thing to mention is that we do see Narbage Day. Sorry, not Narbage Day. We got TLH Unleashed playing the Gnar, I believe. So I think it's going to be TLH Unleashed top lane. We're going to have Bobo in the jungle, Bacon in mid lane, Gonzo on ADC, and Atomica back to his original role of support. So yeah, mixing it around a little bit, having to throw stuff together last minute. I'm interested to see how Fernali plays in this Ornn again. Notably, in their last game, he did a fantastic job of just being a nuisance, realistically. Once Ornn reaches a certain point, I feel like he's quite difficult to kill.
Oh, absolutely. And for this lane, what I want to see in terms of what is it? Keystones for the Ornn. I want to see him bust out the return of the Until Spellbook because in this Ornn, you don't want to be fighting, right? Not through Gnar. If you're trading grass procs, then you're losing, right? Because if you're in range for a grass proc, he's in range for 3 autos, one getting in, one when you're in melee range, and one getting out. And then he has a Q slow to follow that up. He has a hop to get out of your melee range. So you really just want to be sitting back and looking for TP plays, looking for TP ultimates, and looking to use looking to use looking to use that spellbook. That's what I would say.
I think
As for
I think I think they're restarting the game.
yeah, I think that's what's coming up. But on the other side, the Gnar, he just wants to abuse him. He wants to get the grass procs off. Maybe even get a cheeky little pressy attack going. I think that'd be perfect for Gnar, really. Like, grass, ever since it was nerfed so horrifically for ranged champions, I think pressy attack Gnar is the option going forward because you can still opt into the resolve secondary tree, right? So you still have that option to go there. You still can get innate tankiness outside of your items. And that's just something that I think you should look at. But also you can make a case for Aftershock Ornn being the only tank on the team, the only true tank on the team. Lissandra can go Aftershock. It's not meta anymore. And they have a lot of sustain from the Seraphine. So those are options that you can go and that should be considered depending on what you think their game plans are. As for Diana, I would be going Bruiser. I would be going Bruiser, not full AP or full like attacking AP, but AP Bruiser, because you have the Lissandra for the flat AP damage, right?
I feel like as long as Diana gets the Hextech Rocket Belt, you
Hmm.
don't necessarily need the anything else really, because you've got the Flash E
Yeah.
Rocket Belt ult, which is kind of the only combo you need to engage in a team fight. And when you've got a fighting team like you do with the Ornn and the Seraphine and Lissandra, as we talked about as well, realistically you're not there to do the damage, because damage is going to be quite reliant on the Samira at some point, which almost worries me, because although
Hmm.
Lissandra and we do see Diana do a lot of damage, depending on how Diana opts to build. If the Seraphine
Yeah.
dies, is that going to be a lackluster of just like
Team fight.
uncertainty and not knowing how to play the fight if you get your main carry dead, or is it going to be a case of Diana's going to be looking to carry the game? So it's a strange one
Yeah.
for sure, Alan.
I I definitely think Diana can carry the game because if you look at it, hers is the only engage that isn't completely nullified by Braum Shield. So if and this is easily overcomable by if you stagger your ultimates, if you stagger your engage, then you can ignore the Braum Shield completely. But Diana, she even if you waste both ultimate combos, the Ornn and the Seraphine, on it, you can still go in with the Diana and ignore that completely. So yeah, the Hextech Rocket Belt. She also has the Luden's option. She has um, what is it, Riftmaker if she wants to go for that bruiserish build. She has so many options this game in terms of what she wants to go.
Yeah, I
Um,
think normally you see, like I said, we see
yeah,
Diana's
the
opt
Rocket Belt.
Rocket Belt first, but then I think you quite often see them opt for a Zonya's. Um,
Yeah, that's
just
the combo right there.
Yeah, just for the survivability, really. You would E flash Rocket Belt in, and then you can Zonyas while you're all still popping off. Now, there is
Exactly.
quite a lot of time the option for the fall fighting, which is the Rabadons, but I suppose that's more glass cannon. We do see a lot of diners build that if they like to do that. Well, I want to go back to the point about the Unsealed Spellbook on the
Yeah.
on. The option is still there for an Aftershock, right? Because
Hmm.
you're not trying to get trades to get a grass proc off, but you do have the
No.
ability to proc aftershock with your EQ combo, which can work pretty well. And I suppose having the resolve tree as your primary tree is for the survivability can be very useful. But I do like the point of having the Unsealed Spellbook, right? Because you've got the option for two smites there as well. You've got the option for another TP. You've got the option for a ghost even if you need it. There's so many different options you can use it for. So it could be quite a fun one to pull out. But yeah, if you were to choose, would you choose Aftershock here or Unsealed Spellbook?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Well, looking at the scene comp, and I'm playing Ornn. I want them to ignore top lane. I want it to become an island. I want to sit up there alone, and I want them to let me, dive me as much as they can because that's fine because that's wasted efforts top. Because look at their top side. They have a Kha'Zix Gnar, both 80 champions. I can build a Bramble Bess and Tabbies and sit pretty under turret, right?
Absolutely.
Their dive becomes all of a sudden way worse. But on my side, I have a Diana Lissandra that can be ganking mid on repeat because Diana is such a good pick into Fizz. She's such a good pick into Katarina, Fizz. Any champion that has like another dash or a reset of some form, like the Vladimir as well. I just love the Diana into it because you can just wait until after to dash in a second time. With the Lissandra on top of that, they can gank mid on repeat. So if it was me, I would be opting into the spellbook here
Hmm.
just because I want to be able to some way take the teleport, but still be able to outplay the dives. Bust out the secret ignite, bust out the exhaust. All of a sudden, they don't have any damage to kill me, or I can kill them. I have kill pressure, so it really just makes diving Ornn so much more untenable.
Yeah, 100%. I think with the Ornn pick, you see quite commonly a lot of teams like to either just trade for another tank or trade for something that can scale quite well. Now, the Gnar is what is a good pick into the Ornn, but you could have potentially seen something like a Jax maybe come out here
Yeah,
or another tank realistically just to trade off the tank build, because like you said, when there's an on, it's almost just always going to be an island. The champion just likes to be alone and wait for the late game to get team fight and hit that point of being a brick wall essentially, as we mentioned before.
yeah. If you're
um
gonna, it's just the idea. If you're gonna draft so greedily for your top side, like you blind pick the Gnar, if you're gonna draft so greedily,
yeah,
I'd go all the way. I'd go for a Fiora. I'd
yeah,
go for a Jax. I'd go
but
for an Irelia.
apparently he is a Gnar one trick, so if Gnar's
Mm.
left open, then fair enough. Take it. We mentioned before how comfortability is quite a key thing
Yeah.
in these lower elos. So yep, take it all you can. We can confirm that everything is where it seems to be. If there was a little bit of uncertainty where sexual nondescript humanoids team would be going, it is the Diana in the jungle, the Lysandra mid, and the Seraphine support, with the Samira going carry and the Ornn in the top lane, and then it's as you expect for Q&I as well. Kha'Zix in the jungle, Fizz in the mid lane, Jinx and ADC, Braum at support, and Na in the top lane. Now, if I'm Kha'Zix in this situation, I think I'm going to be looking to sit around that bot side, as you said. Top lane's going to be an island. I think mid lane's going to be very much back and forth. Now, Fizz can dodge the Lysandra W with the E.
Yeah.
But that being said, Lysandra's quite hard to gank unless she doesn't have that E ability up. Now, you can bait that out quite easily, maybe with the Fizz engaging and the disengaging, because Fizz is very good at doing that. But this bot lane has a lot of setup, right? You have the Chompers from Jinx, you have the Winter's Bite from Braum, and if you can get that off, that's a pretty instant route and a solid 1.5 to 2 second CC. And if you can get a champion like Seraphine isolated, who is quite immobile, now does have quite a lot of move speed with the passive, but is quite immobile, could be pretty free gank.
Absolutely. So, looking at the gameplay for each team, or game plan rather, for each team, if I'm the side of nondescript humanoids, I want my Lysandra, Diana, mid jungle 2v2 to invade Kha'Zix whenever they can. I want them to pressure the Kha'Zix out of his jungle. Do not let him scale. Do not let him. His only option in the game is the gank. And then the ganks, we already know. What's he going to do topside? Nothing. What's he going to do bot? Nothing, because they have so much disengage and they can get away. They have the Samir, they have the Seraphine, they have the heals and the shields and the charms, right? I want to invade them, and I want to force this Kha'Zix to only focus mid. And then you can win the 2v2 quite easily as these two. You have a point and click stun into our combo for the Diana Lysandra. Now, if I'm on the opposite side, I want to understand that we can't do anything top unless we move the Fizz. So I want the Fizz out of lane as quickly as possible. I want him rotating with the Kha'Zix. I want him going top and diving and getting the Fizz the kills, because he's the only AP threat on the team. If he gets ahead, that's game over. Or if you don't want to focus topside, I want you to put all the resources in the bot. I want you to go get that tempo going early. I want you to get the first Drakes. I want you to get the tower plates and then rotate our top side, rotate Nar bot, get the tower plates top, and then rotate the Jinx mid, and really just accelerate her head so much further ahead. Or again, you can get the Fizz ahead by bot lane ganks on repeat. Yeah, just looking at the Jinx though, what you want to do generally when you have the longer range champion versus a shorter range champion, you want to put the longer range champion into a lane and play for turrets. Samira, she wants to play for the dragons, but their team doesn't allow them to play for dragons, if that makes any sense.
No, 100%. You mentioned about the invades as well, but can be a bit risky, especially if Diana opts to invade by herself. The isolation from Kha'Zix could cause some problems. I do think Kha'Zix would win out in that 1v1 there. But we'll find out as we finally get into game. Notably, nothing too uncertain other than the fact that Ornn has opted for the grass proc. The one thing you didn't want to see, Arlan, but unfortunately it's come out. But we have got Lysandra with the aftershock. You mentioned it's quite a thing that's not used as commonly. But looking to more than likely looking for that sustain, you are against a Fizz after all, a champion that is an assassin and does like to one shot whenever it gets the opportunity to. So if you can prevent that Fizz from accelerating and have that little bit more survivability in lane, then I think it's the best option here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an interesting one because I can see why you would go for the aftershock. I just don't personally think it's the right choice. I would definitely have gone for the electrocute, or even a comet. Just to try and poke them out of lane, do whatever you can. But the aftershock, of course, like the way you said it, it makes sense. You just want to survive. You don't want to give him over free kills, and yeah. And back to the Ornn. Oh, it just hurts to see because with the pressy attack on the Gnar, it just means that Ornn is going to get punished even more trying to go in for those grass procs. And with the Kazakhs having Ignite, you can't survive those dives if they do come out, and I expect them to come out, like,
Yeah,
ugh.
100%. I mean, you mentioned it yourself that the Naj is going to look to trade consistently and force Ornn off the farm. Now, maybe that's what Ornn wants, right? Maybe Ornn wants to sit in the tower, but I feel like it almost forces Narbage Day to potentially sit more top lane and ensure that his top laner doesn't get dived. And unfortunately, that could be the case. One thing I've also just noticed is that Kha'Zix has opted for the Ignite rather than the Flash.
Absolutely. And
So,
that means,
looking
you
for
know,
that kill pressure, right?
yeah, he's not going to be able to escape as easier, but that
Um,
means the invade becomes 10 times harder.
yeah, it also makes me question what he's going to evolve here. So,
Hmm.
for me, if you've not got the extra escapes, I'm assuming most Kha'Zixes like to opt for the ult, for the evolve
Yeah.
first. Reason being is you just have a third option to position yourself in team fights, and that is so incredibly useful. And you also get the passive off as well for your isolation. But it also makes me wonder whether he'll evolve spikes or jump at any point, or and just leave the queue, because with that less escape, with the flash not being there, are you going to need the further jump and the option to reset it if you pick up a kill?
Yeah. I think if I was this Kazakhs right now, I would be going for a Q, wings, and ultimate evolve because, like you said, the third option to run around in a team fight is nice, and really, in this comp, I don't think you need the W.
Hmm.
Now, or I could be wrong because the W is super good into poke comps, right? And considering that your only poke is Jinx and Gnar potentially, and of course Braum Qs here and there, maybe you might want to bolster that up, but I don't think W would be the option to do that.
Absolutely. Can we just check we're synced up before we start? I'm on 11 seconds, 12, 13,
I am
14,
on
15, 16.
I am on 16. Yeah.
I'm on 20, 21, 22. You were on the same?
Yeah. Yeah. I just
Cool.
sped up the game till it couldn't speed up anymore.
Cool. No worries. That's fine. I'm going to get scoreboard off and time controls.
Oh shit. Z.
Effective time is everything up. We'll zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, so the invade's going to be coming out from the side
Yeah.
of nondescript humanoids.
Yeah, I think they're just looking to maybe just get vision, really. It looks like you and I do know they're in there. Are they not decided to back, actually? I don't know if they're expecting them to potentially get in, just walk up into the brush here. But I feel like with Bacon just standing there in the fizz and laughing away, he definitely knows that's there. But going to decide to back off. A ward doesn't come down, though. Surprising. Maybe they'd like to see a ward go down there. You don't know where the Kha'Zix is as of yet. He's not been spotted just yet as he decided to back for
And
the
that's
sweeper.
And that's the one thing that you really wanted to know, where the Kazakhs is going to be starting. And since the Kazakhs didn't show, since the Kazakhs was topside getting his own ward in, now all of a sudden you're at a disadvantage, and this invade becomes that much harder.
100%. And looking at wards as well, we also see that Q and I have actually managed to get a ward on the red buff of Diana. So they are pretty much confirming they know where that's starting now. Now, although bot lane have shown late, it almost proves that maybe Kha'Zix is starting towards the bot side. You maybe like to see a bit of a fake leash come out from the top lane. Maybe something to just almost confuse, and then mind games can come out sometimes and can confuse, especially with the jungler being so impactful in the game. But in the bot lane, there is 2 exhausts for the side of nondescript humanoids. What do you think to that, Arlen?
I like it. The double exhaust here is so good because you have 2 assassins and a bruiser jumping on top of your head. You need some extra peel because the Seraphine just can't do it all alone. Even with the shields, even with the heals, you need those double exhausts to really defend yourself.
100%. I think both junglers at the moment are just going to opt to clear as quickly as possible. I do believe Diana slightly outclears Kha'Zix, having the extra passive to get a AoE attack off can just be so useful. Kha'Zix not really having much AoE other than his W, and a slight bit of jump. Looking like Bacon's going to engage into a melee here. Does have quite a lot of damage. Electrocute proc does get off, but so does the aftershock as well. Bacon will move down towards the bot side, maybe showing that the jungler could be there, so Amelia needs to back off just a little bit. There's a root in the bot lane, but that's a very, very nice shield. Bacon's very low, though. Amelia's going to go in. That is a Trickster jump coming out straight here. The Aftershock, the Ignite comes down. Bacon could die here. Amelia needs one more auto attack. It doesn't quite hit. That's a flash out from Bacon. That is both summoners used. And I think Bobo's going to try move in here. Amelia needs to be careful here. He's going to opt for a back, but pretty close one, Alan.
Yeah, that was a good flash out there from the Fizz. He understood that if he did go down there, he understood that the Lissandra couldn't go in for a flash there. Because if the Lissandra went under turret, that was his first split over to the Fizz. So by flashing out of the Q, flashing out of the auto, whatever else came out, it was just good micro from the side of the Fizz.
100%, yeah. Has got no sums now, though.
Yeah, but the Lissandra still has flash. So
True.
Can they take advantage of that with the 2v2? I'm not sure.
Yeah, there is a fight though in the bot river. We see Kha'Zix just trying to get that scuttle crab, but I think Dinah has just managed to pick it up there. There was a bit of a war for it. Unfortunately, director camera does not like to show us that and wants to show us the bot lane. Does us justice as always. Pretty good for Dinah. If she did manage to get double scuttled there, it would have been quite difficult. There's nothing more painful as a jungler myself than being double scuttled. It is not very fun.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, back to the point about the Fizz and the Lissandra. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, that is something that you can definitely take advantage of. The flash root on the Lissandra, huge. Or the flash ultimate on the Lissandra, huge. Like, that is something that you should definitely be looking to take advantage of. Now, for the jungle pathing, I want to highlight that, right? Like, you can see already that there is a camp lead for the Diana, and that's just comes from understanding that her champion clears so much faster. As we're getting into the bot lane, the cleanse coming out for Gonzo, having to flash out, getting stunned up is the Samira here, and they're going to just back out after a little bit of hard trading there. Very dangerous for Gonzo.
I think I'm slightly ahead of you, so I'll pause for a second. But yeah, so do you see the cleanse and the flash coming out from Gonzo there? A little bit too aggressive there. Emilia's getting some more damage onto Bacon here. Doesn't opt to go in on the E. Fernale's just standing there trying to get his passive up, but that's going to be a lot of damage from Fernale on that on. People do not expect how much damage that W does.
Oh man.
Yeah, when he claps you with that hammer, it's not very fun. So yeah, looking like bot lane's going to look to back here. I'd expect both to take a reset here. The second wave isn't going to crash under tower, but it does mean Gonzo will more than likely have to push it out and get the lane to reset before he does back. Quite clever wave management from the side of nondescript humanoids there. The bot lane definitely did a good job. Unleash is going to hit level 6 soon though, so maybe could look to dive the on if he doesn't quite hit it yet. I believe he's a couple of minions off here.
Yeah, I would definitely be looking to dive the on, and that's what's going to be happening. The stun coming out as well, the ultimate.
Yep. First blood going straight over to the Gnar. We called it, and it's a dive going straight out. Narbage Day will look to pick up the extra farm, get that XP leading. Oh, they're looking to get kill onto Unleash, but just misses it. The recall, that is so painful to see, but we do know there is a slight little leeway on the recall, lets you just get it off before anything happens. Maybe you'd expect to see Narbage Day Q a bit earlier on the Diana. It's going to reach at some point, but I think just trying to get the full range of the bush there. But either way, it was really well played from Unleash. Does manage to pick up the solo kill in the top lane. Uses the ultimate. Forces Fernale to TP actually. Which does mean that Unleashed will actually have this TP advantage for this Drake, which has been warded by both teams respectfully. But definitely a massive advantage there, right?
Yeah, huge advantage. And I don't think he actually had the TV with Narbage Day actually shoving out his way for him. The teleport didn't need to come out, right? Now it's just a way to teleport because, like, with the wave already getting under the Nar's turret, what's there really to TP to catch, you know? Not any wave, not any gold. So really you just wasted that teleport, and now you're going to be down a massive summoner spell that's going to be needed for the next fight, wherever it may be, Rift Herald or Dragon.
Yep, definitely. One thing to notice, actually, I don't think Gnar actually used the ultimate. Still got it up. Which is super
that
useful.
thing is just a quick ultimate.
Yeah, it does actually use it now, though, actually, on Fernale. It does manage to hit it against the wall as well. It's going to be Fernale going down here. It does manage to E away, but don't quite do it. As the passive proc and the PCA does manage to proc and manages to kill Fernale. That is a 2-0 Gnar. And fantastically played from Unleashed. I think realising how much damage he has in this Gnar. He called himself a Gnar one trick. He knows the limitations of the champion. He knows how much damage he can do, and it's showing, right, Arlan? It's showing that he can definitely dominate his lane, and showing to Frenaldi, you don't want to pick this on into me.
Yeah, like it's just disrespectful to have them blind pick the Ornn and then or blind pick the Gnar and then you just are so passive and you only just pick the Ornn into it. I would have gone for something way more aggressive. I would have tried to fight him at his own game at range with a Kinnan, or you try to fight him with something that can jump on his head like a Camille. That would have been huge here.
But yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the Gnar's just going to be getting ahead as they do get the consolation first Drake.
Yeah, 100%. Get a little Drake there. Bacon's going to go in. Does use the Trickster a little bit early. You could see Nondescript Humanoid look to engage here. Narbage is going to go with the ultimate. Does quite hit the Moonlight Vigil. The Seraphine ult does just catch Atomica on this Braum. Not quite sure about that hitbox. Was a little bit sus. But does manage to hit him and manage to pick up the first kill. So yeah, very nicely played and fantastically... Just really good macro there. Managed to realise that they had the lanes pushing, they had the priority, can pick up that Drake, and then saw that Bacon used his tricks too early and did actually manage to pick up a kill onto Atomica as he tried to save his Bacon, but didn't quite do it.
Yeah, but like that was just good. You realize your team comp. You realize that you have the Samira who wants to fight for those Drakes early. So that's what you go for. You just go for the first Drake and you pick it up and you pick up a kill alongside
he's getting ulted though. However, we'll talk about it in a minute. And Bobo's going to instantly melt him, and that is a lot of damage coming out.
Oh no!
You called it. You said about the dives. You said it could happen, especially when you've got a Gnar who is so incredibly far ahead at this point in the game. But there's going to be a fight in the jungle though now. Bobo's going to kill Narbage Day here. The ultimate doesn't quite come off from Fizz, does take it away. Lissandra's come in to try save the day, but nothing's happening for him so far. Gablet could die here though. That is an ultimate coming off from Jinx, does quite hit. The ultimate misses from Atomica, and Kuroshu could die here. The Winter's Bag does get blocked by the W. Oh my lord, Gonzo could die here though. Atomica does get the stun off, and that is a fantastic W by Atomica. Really well played. The exhaust isn't quite enough just yet. And wow, it's not going well for Nondescript Humanoids. Arlan, talk us through that one.
Oh man, let's start from the top play. So it's like you said, they realize the Gnar, how far ahead the Gnar is, and they're just going to go for it. They're going to start doing these dives on repeat, and that's exactly what you should be doing. Now, they realize then, for some reason, that Diana is in the top side of the jungle trying to secure some camps, even though they should probably recognize that the Gnar, or not the Gnar, the Kha'Zix is a danger, is a threat, and they should probably run far away from him. But unfortunately, the option to a fight that they just...
Wait, Gonzo's dead here, though. Oh, there's one shot! Oh, the whole time I'm trying to focus on whether on you talking or whether Gonzo's gonna die. I don't really quite know what to say there, but really well played by Gablet.
Everything is going on.
I know, there's so much action, I'm not gonna have a chance to breathe in this game. But we love to see it anyway. Gonzo does use both tombs there, so really well played by Seraphine actually. A support managing to force out sums that early in the game is very fantastically played. Amelia's going to straight up Bacon though, and that is an instant death. I'm not quite sure why I went in there, but Amelia doesn't have an E now. Does flash over the wall. Narbage is going to go in, just get the ultimate off. And Amelia dies though. Unleash just managed to pick up the kill. That is another attack coming in, and the Jinx Rocket as Narbage picks up a kill onto Kha'Zix, but it's not over yet. Unleash is going in, but Kuroshu's here to try to save the day as well, but he's 3 levels above them both. And does manage to pick up a kill here. He's got Mega Gnar in a minute. Can he pick it up? The Ornhorn's coming out, just the Q comes out. The Ornhorn does hit, but Atomic is also here as well. Just trying to get the stun onto Kuroshu as Unleash is here to try to save the day as well. Kuroshu gets the ult off, but that is a narrow into the wall. Saves it for that, and really well played. Can I breathe, please?
Sure, I'll cast from here on out. Don't worry about it. But seriously, though, it is just back and forth. It's just absolute domination from the side of Q. And really, this roster is showing up. This completely new and improved roster is really showing up and showing out today. They are just smashing them all across the board, and I'm going to attribute it to clever drafting. They showed some weaknesses in the draft by drafting the Gnar blind pick, but I guess they anticipated the Crabs just not respecting the Gnar damage really, and now the Gnar is 5-0. You have a 2-1 Kha'Zix, you have a 3-0 Jinx, and this game is just accelerated far beyond the pace of what you wanted it to do if you're a crab.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we said it earlier, right? It all comes down to the comfortability, but never mind about that. There's a fight in the bot lane. The ultimate does come down onto Karishu, straight dead. Gablet will let's get away now, but it's not going to be enough as Jinx picks up a double kill in the bot lane, and this Jinx is getting more and more accelerated as the game goes on. Gonzo, 5-0 in this game, has a 500 gold shutdown. But back to the point about the comfortability, right? Clearly, Unleash is so comfortable on this. Oh, the stun does hit though. The ultimate comes out onto Amelia. Fantastically played. Does he manage to use the frozen tomb? Bacon is here as well. Use the trickster a little bit early.
Nice.
Won't pick up the kill. Amelia does pick up a kill onto Atomic though. It's a really well played to manage to pick up a kill on the 1v3 there. Really well played.
Countering the dive right there.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think Atomic realised how much damage Lissandra can do really. So maybe Amelia will be the carry this game. I am expecting to see a ban coming out onto the Gnar this game, next game even. He is looking to maybe pick another kill onto Fernal. He just managed to get away. The Q does come out, the boulder hitting, but not doing loads as of quite yet. The Ornn is quite tanky. Managed to pick up another turret in the top lane. The ultimate comes out, doesn't quite hit the wall though. The stun comes out again. The Q is going to chase him down. Fernal is going to look to get out here, but I'm not sure he can. He's mini now again, and the proc comes out from the PTA. Narbage in the bot lane looks to make a play to Gonzo. Doesn't have ultimate quite yet. Does not to use it, but that's going to be a kill coming donated over to Gablet on the Seraphine. I would have quite liked to see that on Karishu, but to the Diner.
Would have wanted to see it on anybody except the Seraphine, but still, a kill is a kill. A 500 gold shutdown
but
is
never
a 500
mind about
gold
that. It's going to be another
shutdown.
kill, though. Bacon's looking to ult. Gablet does it. It misses. Gablet walks into it, though. The Seraphine ult comes out. There's two TPs coming in. Atomic is looking to engage, and I think this could be death for the bot lane. That is so much damage coming in from Kha'Zix. Bobo will die here to Gablet. Amelia's here as well, but Unleash is also here, and that is a very angry now that there's so much damage, and that is a double kill going into the pockets of Unleash, and this is an 8-0 now, but it's not over yet, Arlan. Narbish Days here. I think he's getting caught out here. Atomic is trying to get the stun off, trying to do everything he can. Use the shield to block any damage. The stun managed to go down, but Unleash is going to chase as well. Does have the ultimate again. Throws him into the wall. The Q comes out, and the rocket just misses, but Unleash is too strong and throws out that Q. Now Kufranali down here as well. That is a very nice pillar coming out, and the Q manages to land again. Really nice ult from Atomic, and that is a 10-0 now. That is an unofficial quadra.
Oh my god. Yeah, that Narj is running through them right now, and that's what you want to see when you blind picking something so heavily.
But never mind. Atomic is going to die here, though. Karishu managing to style on him and pick up a kill, a consolation kill. But talk us through the unofficial quadra. Talk us through the Gnar.
So basically, this is what happens when you put all your eggs in one basket, and that's just what you want to do. Oh, the Gnar might get a caught out here on Gablet.
No, not just yet, no. What second are you on? I'm on 15, 45, 46, 47.
46, okay, I'm 42, I'm 44. Okay, I'm 40. Oh.
I'll pause for a second, let me know when you get to 56.
56. Okay. I'm here.
Cool. Right, 57, 58, 59, 60.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Nice one. Perfect. Sorry about that, guys. Make sure we lined up there. But yeah, talk us through the Gnar. You said putting all eggs in one basket.
Yeah, when you put all your eggs in one basket with the such a interesting counter pick here, or just an interesting pick, it can easily go wrong. But it didn't.
Ultimate coming out again in the bot lane though. Fizzle does manage to hit. Bobo has used everything, has used ultimates. The finale ult did actually hit, but Seraphine ult did not. Atomic is here as well. This is a really good fight for the side of nondescript humanoids, looking to try and get another kill. Does manage to pick up the 1-for-0 though, as it does get donated over to Diana, I believe it was. I'm not quite sure there. But they're looking to push down this tier. Yeah, looking to push down tier 1 now. Bacon is going. That's a lot of damage as electrocute hits. But nondescript humanoids don't. No, they're not. Amelia does manage to land the ult, but it's not enough damage just yet. Fantastic ultimate from Atomica. Manages to catch Narvish in the tower. The Trumpers do hit. And Bacon goes in, but he's not going to get away from that one as Karishu goes in as well. Styling on him now. Does manage to pick up another kill. And that other kill goes up to Gablet again. Gablet getting very, very strong in the Seraphine now. And Fernali rolled us back as nondescript humanoids managed to pick up another 2 kills and are looking to turn this game around, Arlan.
Look in the top lane. Look at the Gnar, he's just pushing.
Yeah, absolutely
and
right.
What can you do to stop him?
No, absolutely nothing. This Ornn knows he cannot fight him. Unleash, he's level 13 in this game. That is a whole 4 levels above Fernala here. The Rift Arrow will get another dash onto the inhibitor, but won't quite get it onto the Nexus turrets. The issue is, though, the inhib's gone down that early. Can they use it to their advantage? Now, I know it forces someone to side lane, but at the same time, that also forces a little bit of gold into the pockets of nondescript humanoids. So there is positives and negatives to both sides there. It does force Frenali to sit in the side lane or Lysandra, but at the same time, it is a little bit more gold going into the pockets of nondescript humanoids.
It's a huge amount of gold going into the pockets of whoever you send top. I want to see the Samir pick it up. Generally, mid lane is a snowball lane, but that is a safe scaling lane, and that's why I want to see the Samir try to get back into this game. But if you don't want to send the Samir into that lane, send the Lysandra, and then have the Samira, Seraphine, Diana combo. I want them roaming around the map looking for these quick, cheeky kills, trying to do something to get the Samir back in the game off of shutdowns and kills, and that would be huge.
Absolutely. Boba maybe caught out here, though. Does he jump over the wall? That ultimate does just hit. The Frozen Tomb does just quite hit. Will he go over to Kerishu here, looking to chase him down? But he has Void Assault back up again. There's a lot of damage onto Kerishu with the initial Q, but that is the killing spree for Samira now. Does have the Immortal Shield bow now. And I've got to say that play all started from that really well played ultimate from Melee. The Frozen Tomb did just land as Boba hopped the wall.
Yeah, and that's the strength of the Lysandra in the current meta. Just a point and click ultimate just to deal damage, and then it just kills them quite easily.
Absolutely. I think we realise how much of a problem it can realistically be, but that is going to be another turret taken in the bot lane as Unleash is just trying to really stat pad at this point and trying to get as many turrets as possible and break the world record, which he's doing a good job of. But looking to engage here. Yeah, Mini now though doesn't have Mega Gnar just yet. Bacon is in the other brush as well, looking to get a flank of as well in the tier 1 turret. But I'm not sure if this is the right idea just yet. And Melee doesn't have ultimate, but it is coming real soon. Does have the W. They do not have the Encore from Gablet. I feel like they're not quite forced out this tier 1 just yet. Do have a lot of wave clear. A lot of damage going on. At least you're going to go in. The ultimate does hit. There's a 3-man ultimate against the wall. And fantastically played from Unleash, showing how good he is on this Gnar. Atomica will die to the turret, however, and that is a consolation kill going over to the Diana. 1 for 1 thus far. Did manage to escape the rest, but wow, what an ultimate, Arlan.
That was massive ultimate there for the Gnar, and that's why I don't know, any champion that you feed that heavily, it's gonna do a ton of damage. So next game, definitely one of the teams is gonna be banning the Gnar. Either you get Narbage Day his Gnar and you shove him top lane, or you get Unleashed his Gnar and just a ton of damage comes out.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be an ultimate onto Bacon in the mid lane. Gablet will pick up another kill on the Seraphine, and this is the 5-kill Seraphine. The Encore does come out, but doesn't hit anyone, unfortunately. There isn't a route that hits quite yes, but actually, this Seraphine's doing a lot of damage here, Arlan, but there's going to be a gauge onto Arlan. Sorry, not to Arlan, that's you. Onto Bobo. Gonzo's going to pick up a kill, and so will Unleashed here. And it seems as if nondescript humanoids are trying to force stuff here and there, but slightly overforcing in some places.
Yeah, that was definitely an overforce with the ambitious Seraphine ultimate, just the zone. They should have immediately back off, but that didn't come out, so now they're going to have to give up the Baron here. Although the Jinx might die, it's getting pretty close. Nope, she is fruits, so she will be chilling.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobo could die here, though. I think he may just live, as they do pick up the Baron here. Very, very good call from Q&I here. It almost forces nondescript humanoids to go top lane. There is the inhib, and I suppose showing its worth now. But that is going to be a lot of gold going into the pockets of the Lysandra and the Seraphine. Now, although a couple of kills have gone over to Lysandra, she does not Lysandra, Seraphine does do quite a lot of damage here. Does have the Chemtech Putrefier now. Whether they can use that anti-healing to its advantage, we'll never know until the team fights come out later on. But that's going to be a Drake going over to Q&I. Maybe look to fight you. Unleashed does have the Mega Gnar, does have the ultimate. May look to hop in here and ult. That's a 3-man ultimate again. Doesn't quite hit the finale, unfortunately. A knock up, and that could be a dead Unleashed, and this is going to be a big shutdown as about it. But he's not dead just yet. Bobo picks up a kill onto Kerishu, and he picks up a 3rd kill. That's a triple kill. Doesn't die just yet, but Amelia may pick up the kill here. Flashed in with the W, picks up a consolation kill there. Bacon's gone in, but Amelia has the Frozen Tomb and does look to chase down Bacon, but opts to back out finally, actually. And that is going to be a 4 for 1, and it's not over just yet. Could be an ace here. And Amelia just stepped up a little bit too much there. And Oh, it was so unlucky for nondescript humanoids. I think it looked as if the may just die. That could have been a ginormous shutdown into the right pockets.
Massive.
You might go into the Seraphine again, like we never know. Pick up in a lot of kills this
What you
game.
wanna see?
No, it's not what you want to see, but it might happen. Maybe Q and I are overstepping here. They do have Baron. Matlock engage him. That's another ultimate from Nah. The encore hits. And does this Nah ever not have ultimate? Because he always seems to have it. He's finally going to die to the Samira. Finale will hit this Gonzo on the Jinx, but won't pick it up. Flash cleanse out. Should just get out. And that is actually a lot of gold going over to this Samira, but the Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't quite do enough damage. On will eat that up. And yeah, it's not over just yet. The fat lady hasn't sung just yet, Arlan, but you know, it's looking like a couple of miracle plays may need to be made.
Yeah, I don't know if it's enough though, because really you're still facing a 9k gold lead. No, yeah, about a 10k gold
and if you
lead
look at the gold as well, like this is a solid 9,000.
Accelerating.
Yeah, so far ahead. The ultimate does actually miss from Bacon there, chum the waters. Unfortunately, not managing to chum Amelia's waters. But it's not really something too worried about. The cooldown of Fizz's ultimate is, I think, just over a minute.
Yeah.
I think at level 11, I believe. Talk about levels. I've just realised how goddamn far ahead Unleashed is. It's
only 15 to 12. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Q and I looking to clear as much vision as possible here, try to get as much vision in the opposing jungle as possible, and it's really well played realistically. You kind of want to accelerate your lead and make sure you have every option to flank. There is going to be a ward that spots him out just there, and the ward does get placed but instantly destroyed. And I think it's probably in the best interest of Q and I to push the bot lane, right?
Oh, definitely. You want to push the bot lane, you want to force them away from the turrets.
Atomic will look out here though, and does manage to get out. There's going to be a lot of damage going down. But nothing, no kills, nothing on the board. But yeah, as you were saying, get the turret, sync up the waves.
Get the turret, sync up the waves, force all these lanes down at the exact same time, or use the pressure to get Baron, which is going to be coming in about 2 minutes, or get the Drake, which is also going to be coming up in about 2 minutes. So you have options in terms of things to grab.
Absolutely, definitely right there. The Super Mega Death Rocket is going to hit, but it's not enough damage just yet. Unleashed is so tanky. Has the force of nature now, has the wit's end, has the merc treads, and the amount of tenacity this champion has right now is just outrageous, and I do not think locking him down is the right option here. Now BJ will engage into Bobo. I think he does have the damage. The ultimate does come out, the void is all out as well, and he might not get away here. Does manage to always attack him. The ignite comes down and cues him, but it's not enough damage. Now BJ will probably die here though, flashes out. The encore does quite hit on stomach, but that is a fantastic ult again from Unleashed. The winner's bite goes out as well. The Ornhorn coming out, and this could be a winning fight for the nondescript humanoids here. Oh no, Gonzo does so much damage. Will die here though. Keroshu's back in the game now. Hard the Collector. The ultimate comes out, styling on him here, and Unleashed will die as well. And Bacon will just laugh in the bot lane as he tries to pick up this tier 1.
Yeah, so that's kind of just what happens when you try to really force the advantage with just using the amount of money. They're really just trying to smack them around with their wallets. They're not really going in as a team, really using the power of their team comp. And it came back to bite them in this fight. Gonzo really was pumping out damage there, but was just in range of one of the two exhausts. I don't know whose exhaust it was, but he was just in range of one of them. And that was enough of a nerf just to really shut down any hopes of him solo carrying that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said it yourself, there's the 4v5 coming out there. And it's just not good. But there's going to be another root landing onto Bobo here. Just use the Void Assault and will not have that up for this Drake fight here. Blue's going to get donated over to Narbage Day here. There's a TP coming in from Unleashed, and it's looking like this Dragon fight is going to be very important, trying to prevent Q and I from getting Soul Point. Oh no, they're going to just leave it. I think that's the right thing to do here, right? They're slowly coming back into the game. They're slowly getting these picks here and there, and you don't run a coin flipper fight here.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for that Drake either. Like, it's only the third... Or it's only the third cloud, so it doesn't matter.
From the waters hits onto Narbage Day though. The encore is just going to miss, and that is a lot of damage, but not enough to take Narbage Day out. As Fizz will just tricks her out of there.
That chunk.
Yeah, massive chunk coming out, but I do not think it matters when you have a Seraphine.
Oh God, look at that Seraphine.
Yeah.
That's why you picked the Seraphine.
Absolutely, it does not matter. I think Q and I are going to look to get the Baron here. They do know non-restricted humanoids have had to back, and I don't think they know yet. There isn't any pings going into it just yet, and this is going to be a free Baron going over to Q and I.
Yeah.
Very, very nice call. It's either a case of non-restricted humanoids knew they were on it and just knew they couldn't go for it, or just didn't have a clue. I feel like they probably knew they was on it, but just knew they couldn't engage there.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for it either. Even if they were on it, it's no.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to go for. The issue is, although they do have the Baron, non-restricted humanoids do have very good clear with the Samira, the Seraphine, as well. Well, to be fair, I guess amongst the whole team, really, they have quite a lot of good clear. The Niner as well, quite especially.
A lot of skull.
100%. It does make it a little bit more difficult. I'd assume they're more than likely going to wait till this Baron runs out, right? Wait for the next streak. If you were Q and I, would you look to end within this next 3 minutes?
I definitely would, because these next 3 minutes that I'm not spinning ending, it's finale getting levels on Ornn, and that means upgrades for any one of his champions on his team, which is more than likely going to be the Sandra, the Samira, all of them. They all get those upgrades, so I want to end in these next 3 minutes.
Especially the Seraphine as well. If you upgrade the Seraphine, Moonstorm Renew can do a lot of it. The Encore just misses though, unfortunately. But I'm not sure what the cooldown is in the Encore level. The Chum the Waters does hit onto melee though. Will be a massive chunk though. That is a quarter of the health coming out. I'm going to check what the cooldown is. It's a 72-second cooldown at level 13. Good to know. But yeah.
Yeah, all these ultimates are super low cooldown at these times, but
100%, yeah.
Either way.
It's looking like Q and I are going to fight here, though. They've been shoved under tower as if inhibitor will get taken out there. Gonzo just poking with the rockets, and it's a really nice ultimate from Unleashed, but the Frozen Tomb does go down as well. The Super Mega Death Rocket, the Ono trying to come out as well, does actually manage to get it off, hits quite a few of them, and Karishu's done a lot of damage here, but he does get exhausted midway through the fight, and now he's just looking to engage, but will get maybe taken out. No, Bobo's down now, and it's looking pretty positive for non-restricted humanoids here. Finale is looking to engage into Unleashed here, but Unleashed is just kiting out. The Chum the Waters, he's back up again, we'll get on to Finale. Does hit Gablet as well, Gablet walks into it, Wolf Zonya's out of the way, the stasis is in place, but Gonzo will pick up a kill, and Finale will get taken down here as well, and I think that's going to be a game unless Karishu can 1v5 in the minion wave, but it's not happening there. And that is going to be game one going to Q&I, and they pick up their first point guaranteed of this entire split.
Absolutely. Massive stuff when you have this new roster coming out. This is what you want to see. You want to see them being able to come through and really, drive home the point that, yeah, we can win these games, and we can win them in a convincing manner. Really, the goal lead says it all. It's impressive. It's really for Unleashed there in the top side, playing that Gnar and having the confidence to tell his team, listen, I can carry you guys on this champion. Just give it to me. And that's exactly what happened.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll get a poll out in the chat. See who you think your MVP was. I feel like it's going to be answered itself. But who was your MVP for that game, Alan?
Well, surprise, surprise, it's going to be Unleashed. Unleashed his Gnar here today, and let it run wild. Really good play from him, and played exactly to the game plan that you wanted to see them play. They took the Gnar matchup and they ran away with it. They sent the what do you call it? The bug. Kha'Zix, that's it. Yeah. I knew the name. They see the top side to get him some kills as well, but really they just let the Gnar run the lane, and that's what you do when you have such a strong winning matchup. On the other side for the Crabs, I want to see them, if they get something like that again, if they allow the Gnar to go through and they first pick Gnar, I want them to see them do something new. I want them to see go all in. Like if they're going to cast a solo lane or pick a solo lane, I want them to see them go all in on the solo lane and try to really counter pick it.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm going to expect the Gnar to be banned out of that game, the next game. It just makes sense realistically. And I think it's definitely going to be a case it's going to get banned out this game. But I think you've got to get a lot of respect to the whole team, really, especially when they've drafted together quite a mismatched team, really, and it's come together last minute. I think they all played really well, especially the bot lane for me was pretty much a highlight, despite Gnar dominating the top lane and Finale not being able to get into the game. I do think the bot lane did very, very good. Atomic hit some very nice ultimates, and Gonzo did so much damage, just managing to poke at every opportunity he could. But the same could be said for the bot lane of nondescript humanoids, right? The Kerishu did manage to
Absolutely.
get back into the game at some point, did manage to get up to 3 items, and I think you've got to realise that maybe it's worth playing around that bot lane next game. What do you think? Playing more around it anyway.
Definitely. Definitely. I want to see them play around that bot lane. If they're going to draft the Samira Seraphine or something like a Samira that really needs that gold and those kills to go crazy, that's what you want to do. You want to see them play around it. They did good coming back into the game, like you said. They got a massive shutdown. They got a lot of kills under the Seraphine, and it was really just a narrative right there. Um,
A hundred
he got
percent.
so many good ultimates, so many three men, so many. I think I saw four men in there one time,
Yeah,
but yeah, he just ran the game from about minute two.
really, really did. For all you stat nerds out there, I can confirm the Nard did do the most damage by 10,000 above the Jinx, did 37,000. So yes, that is a lot of damage coming out there. Um, but unfortunately, I've just got confirmation that the Nar cannot play in game two.
Unfortunate.
Unleashed
So,
isn't able to get in game two, unfortunately.
yeah.
Uh,
How does
so
how do side selections work?
well done, chat. You've given the person who can't play MVP. Well done, well done, chat. We'll find out in a minute what's going on. We'll have a quick casters break as I need to use the little boys' room. And yeah,
Go
we'll have a
ahead.
little break and we'll see you guys in 2 minutes. And we're back after that action-packed game. I think it's safe to say a lot of action going on left, right, and centre in every single lane, really. I was hoping for a bit of a calmer game, but I don't think we're going to get that this time, Alan.
Karma game? A karma game?
Oh, I don't
A
know.
karma game?
Maybe.
Yeah, me too. Karma's one of my favorite champions. She's so flexible, dude. She can go top. She can go ADC. She can go support. She can go mid. Don't take her jungle, but everywhere else,
You never know.
she's such a strong champion.
Yeah. Apparently, Gablet's saying I might play it, but it's not so spicy. We want something spicy this same Gablet. All right. We're expecting something spicy just for us. I didn't quite see who the MVP was, but I'm going to assume it was now.
Yeah, it was Nar.
Yeah,
It was
expected. So, Unleashed did a very good job. Can confirm that Lee, who is the original jungler for the side of Q&I, is back and is managing to play the second game. Going to get into the draft real soon, as both teams are just making sure they're readying up. It does mean that Bobo will be going back to the top lane and Lee will be in the jungle.
Yep. And now that you have people in the correct spots, we should see an entirely different side to the crabs, the Shuriman crabs, and that's exactly the type of mentality that they should have going into this game. It's like, okay, we lost game one. It was hard, can't sugarcoat it. It was a hard top diff. But now we have people in the correct positions, and we should be able to play the game our way, and that's what I would do.
Absolutely. I mean, now the Nara isn't here, I still think it's worth. I still think it. Would you ban it?
No, I wouldn't ban it because Narvish Day is going to be the jungler. So what's the point of putting Nar into a jungle? I don't think it's that good right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been good.
Let me check. No, never been good.
Quick check. Thank you for that amazing insight. But no, definitely. Is there anything else you'd expect to see being banned out from nondescript humanoids this game?
Nondescript humanoids. What would I ban out if I was them? I definitely, since I am blue side, right? The traditional bans are to ban out the super strong duos, or at least one half of the super strong duos. So I would leave up the Gnar. I would look to get rid of the, let's see, the Lucian, which can go with so many champions. The Lucian Nami, Lucian Braum. I'd get rid of the Lucian. I'd get rid of the Braum, just so they don't have the misfortune counter. And I'd probably seek to get rid of either Yumi or Thresh. Then I would first pick Misfortune and go from there. But Misfortune is just such a strong blind first pick that you really can call the shots in the draft from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe Bobo is a Gnar player as well, though.
Ooh.
So I think it's pretty much his primary champion he plays. But he's also a set player as well as quite a big champion pool. Does have quite a couple of games on the set, the Scion, the Gnar, a couple of games on the Cho'Gath. So quite a big champion pool there, but especially the Gnar being notably one of the most stronger champions in his champion pool. So still could be definitely worth a ban. You never know.
Yeah. It's it's hard drafting for these for teams, especially when you have such wide champion pools. But it's like I said earlier, it's hard drafting, but at the same time it's easier drafting. But I guess the hardest version of that is drafting when you have both small champion pools and large champion pools. Because then you have to count, okay, do I ban out the small champion pool or do I try and limit the large champion pool? Because someone may have a large champion pool, but they can only really play 2 out of those 17 champions, right? So it's really something that you have to try and consider, and that's what you do in draft. That's what you have to do. You have to really limit the enemies and accelerate your own drafting. So yeah,
Absolutely. I think we're just waiting to get into the second draft in a minute.
not just waiting for each team to
There's
do
just
their bantering.
there's just a lot of talk. This is just a lot of random stuff. That
A little bit of talk.
I'm not sure I can share it on Twitch. But yeah, gonna get into the game real soon. But yeah, we'll talk about Lee, who is the jungler for the side of Q&I now, back into the team. Notably has been playing a little bit of Talon, I believe.
Ooh, Talon jungle.
But I wonder if that's going to be as strong anymore with the nerfs to God Drinker.
Yeah, it's not going to be too viable. You know, the same reason you don't want to pick Xin Zhao anymore, really, because it's the nerfs to Draw Drinker really have just limited that champion and limited so many of those. The Kiana, the Talon, not Zed. Zed is still an option to take into the jungle, because he always went without it. He never went the Gore Drinker route. So we're going to be looking at that. But ooh, the bans are coming out very quickly.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Zap does get banned out against Lee. Is a champion he does like to play, as does the Echo, and the Gnar being banned out as we expect it to be. We know the Gnar is a champion that he likes to play quite a lot, so that's going to get banned out. Not sure what's happening, but
I'm not sure about this blind pick. The
but
Ahri.
This is a blind pick. Ahri though. Oh no, it's going to be a Graves being locked
way
in.
better.
See,
way,
this is
way,
quite
way
good
better.
because this can be definitely flex amongst
Replace.
3 lanes really. Yes, you got the mid.
4 places if you want to get real cheeky with it. Grab the Yumi and send the bot.
Maybe, yeah, notably not one that's as meta right now, but one thing we are seeing quite a lot is a lot of Graves top.
So much Grave top.
So I do wonder whether they've actually used this before, or whether it'll just get played in the jungle. Either way, super good champion right now, notably one of the most pick or ban champs right now. Definitely been accelerated as well now. The God Drinker nerfs have been put down, but they're gonna lock in a Nautilus here for Atomica. I do wonder if they'll opt for a kill lane here and lock in something that's slightly aggressive, maybe a Tristana.
I'd go for the Lucian. I'd go for the Lucian Nautilus.
Good shout, yeah.
Yeah. But really, they had the Braum up. They had the Braum Lucian, super hard combo to deal with. Lucian Nami as well for another kill lane. But yeah, with the Graves pickup, you go for a Gwyn.
That's going to be Lee Sin locked in for Lee. It's in his name, so why not? Lee Sin, definitely another champion that's very much pick or ban right now. I'm a Lee Sin main myself. The Graves matchup can be quite difficult if you don't play it well. But yeah,
definitely.
So, I'm going to be criticising you, sir, on this Lee Sin, seeing how you play. But yeah, the Ahri's being hovered again, though, Alan.
Yeah,
Locked in as well.
Don't like it because now you have more than likely the Graves is going top. So you have both your solo laners and your junglers shown. Of course, the Graves can always go jungle now that they know that the Lee Sin is out. But really, you could have picked the Gwyn, and that really does really well into the Graves. You could have picked, any AP top laner, the Mordekaiser, the Set. Champions that can get on top of him, Riven, Camille, strong champions that can just shut down the Graves and shut down his farming patterns so successfully. But following it up with the Ahri Ashe is just, I think, falling behind in this draft, even though you had such a clear advantage just from pick 1, and then they drop the ball, and then you drop the ball in return. It's like a hot potato right now. Who really wants to win the draft? And it's not going well for either team because the Ashe is just such a weak pick when there's so many other better picks out there, such as the Misfortune, such as the Lucian.
Yeah, but I wonder if they're going for a kill lane in the bot lane because it's still the option to go for it. They don't have the Ashe Nautilus, which is quite common, but the time Kench is going to be hovered here. Maybe I don't. Oh, it's going to be a Misfortune being locked in. There's the Misfortune, as you said, Alan. So that's going to be locked in. And Nautilus Misfortune is quite a very strong kill lane right now. We'll see what happens in the second round of bans here, and what nondescript human I decided to pick for this support. The Orianna is going to be taken away from Amelia, as will the Set away from Bobo. Looking to ban out quite a lot of top laners against Bobo right now.
Yeah, I think they're looking to blind pick a top, which is what you do when you ban out a certain role. Yeah, so looking to blind pick top and looking to blind pick mid is what I'm getting from the Lissandra Orianna bans. And that's good. You want to make sure your mid jungle 2v2 is as strong as possible. So you want to look to get priority for the Lee Sin early. So I'm looking at a Victor. I'm looking at a Syndra. I'm looking at potentially an Azir. Not really looking at the Azir because it really just stops the mid jungle 2v2. It doesn't accelerate that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
looking at the Syndra and Victor for getting early priority. Maybe even a LeBlanc.
The Fizz is going to be locked in again
Mm.
though for Bacon. Clearly a champion they're comfortable on and has played quite a lot. Did do quite a lot of damage and quite a lot of work in the previous game. Um, I'd expect to see something they can counter this with being locked in for nondescript humanoids here. It is going to maybe be a Cassidon here. So,
Oh, ooh, that
uh,
is
spicy pick for sure.
definitely spicy, but not in the way that you want it to be spicy.
True, but at the same time, if it means that Q and I can't close out this game once
Yeah,
Cassidon gets to 16, it's going to be very, very difficult to shut him down. We'll see if it gets locked in as he's going to be hovered here. It does
and it does
finally get
get locked
locked
in.
in.
Yeah.
We'll see what gets picked in the top lane here. Now, I can see Q and I opting to put Bobo on the Scion here. But maybe they're expecting that, right? And that's why they're picking Lilia. So Lilia is extremely oppressive.
Absolutely.
Could be played in the jungle, likewise. Could be a Graves top, we don't know yet, which is very, very... Actually, a really clever draft from Nondescript Humanoids here. They've got two champions that can pretty much just hover, and I've just realised that's probably an Ari support. And I think
Yep.
it is actually because Gablet is a person that likes to play Ari support, and I completely forgot that. So yes, that's an Ari support being locked in. Someone Gablet likes to play quite a lot. There's a Cho'Gath being locked in. So is that going to be a Graves top, Lilia jungle, or vice versa?
Yeah. Uh, I would probably put Graves into the jungle because it does so much better into Lee Sin than the Lilia, and I'll put Lilia into the Cho'Gath because she can dance around the Qs, dance around the silence, dance around the slopes. But the main issue I have with the draft for Q and I is that yes, they have the mid pressure, but it's not because anything you especially did. It's because they opted to draft the Cassidon, which is always going to get shoved in by a Fizz. And the issue is that the Lee Sin Fizz takes so much gold as a combo to really get off the ground, right? Like the Lee Sin needs a lot of gold to really become the skirmisher fighter champion, and Fizz needs to scale so incredibly well with items. He really needs to get those items early and get them quickly, or else you're just gonna fall behind this Cassidon, who's just gonna outscale everybody. But on the opposite side, this Ari pick, Ari Ash is not the pick into Misfortune. You have no way to shut down the Misfortune in team fights. Like, absolutely not a single person can get on top of her to shut her down. The Nautilus can peel, the Nautilus can engage, and it can really just shut down this Ari no matter what she wants to do because she does have the three dashes, but he has the root, he has the knockup, and he has the hook. So not quite the pick into Nautilus, I think, and especially not the pick into Misfortune with the Nautilus. The Cho'Gath pick is good because it forces the Graves into the jungle and not into the top lane, and it can do reasonably well into the Lilia with the slow on hit and the knockup as well. The
Absolutely.
Graves is the strong point of their draft here, I think.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to get into the game now, though. People are just looking at the champions. Does mean it is a Graves in the jungle, as Alan just mentioned, so it will be Lilia in the top lane. We mentioned as well, like, the Lilia with a passive and the ability to kite round this Cho'Gath, and with Cho'Gath being a hyperly immobile champion, it's going to be rather difficult for Bobo to really get anything, but maybe it's Bobo looking to scale here, maybe it's looking for him to get his stacks and looking to just feed on the objectives here. I guess we'll find out. But I'm expecting Fernali to play a little bit more aggressively this lane, right?
Definitely. That's just what you got to do with this Lilia. You have to play aggressively, but not too aggressively where he can really lock you down and get this Lee Sin top side. Um, Now, looking at the tools of each draft, what am I expecting to do? I'm expecting for the side of Q and I want to play around this Misfortune. Like getting this Misfortune ahead, the strongest AD carry in the game right now, one of the most picked AD carries at World, pick or ban every single game pretty much. You want to get her ahead, and that's what I'm looking to do with this draft. I have the Nautilus for lockdown, I have the damage from the Misfortune, I have the Fizz coming in as well, And like I said, the mid jungle 2v2 is just too expensive to get rolling, so you want to get that misfortune, all the resources. On the opposite side, I want Kassadin to sit back and scale, so I want my jungle constantly hovering the Kassadin, which is an issue because you want your jungler going topside to bully this Cho'Gath and to get the top laner ahead, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
they're kind of at an impasse right here, and you got to be very careful which option you choose depending on the game state.
I'm going to assume that Gablet's going to opt for the exhaust in this bot lane. Um, Makes the most sense having, like even we mentioned before, having an assassin, a Lee Sin that can jump onto you. I'm expecting that to come out here. Or maybe, I don't know if a heal would be necessary. I'm expecting Ash to take cleanse here. If the Nautilus hook stun lands. Or do you take heal? That's the question.
Hmm.
Because if that Nautilus hook hits, um, the issue is that you can layer so much CC with Nautilus instantly. Will the
Yeah,
cleanse help so much? Because the hook doesn't. You can't. Can you cleanse the hook? Because it doesn't. It count as an initial knock up almost.
you can't cleanse the hook, but you can cleanse the knockup and then flash out of it immediately. So that is an option, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I would probably opt for the heal here, just try to survive the misfortune. Because if you do get locked down, you're pretty much dead regardless. So you could probably there's even an option for you to take the teleport, right?
Hmm.
Like if you die in lane, you're or if you get hooked, you're dead. That's basically it.
Yeah.
That's the name of this game. So taking the teleport, maybe even taking Ignite, being a little bit cheeky with it, is an option. But heal and cleanse aren't gonna save you, and exhaust is pretty useless unless it's going on a Fizz or Lee Sin.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm expecting to see Lee looking to accelerate this. Maybe like you've got this bot lane option with the Ari charm, and without the passive on the W, Gonzo will be quite immobile. The issue is though, before level 6, will it be a gankable lane? Now, Karashu is going to look to poke out with his W in the volley early, but you could maybe look to accelerate this top lane, right, Lilia, because Bobo is playing Cho'Gath, a very, very mobile champion early. Does have the knock up, but Lee Sin being so hyper mobile, you've got the ability to dodge as well very, very easily. So I'd maybe expect to see a level 1, level 3 gank, sorry, in the top side.
Yeah. Like I said, you want to get this top laner ahead. And I think the Lilia. Now we're gonna see how Fronali plays on the opposite side of it. Now he's the strong side, no longer the weak side, and we're gonna see if he can play around that. And bot lane has to realize that they're the weak side. So what do you want to do when you're weak side? You play at the jungle entrance on your side, right? You don't play up, you don't push forward, or else you're gonna run the risk of getting, you know, absolutely run through by this Fizz Lee Sin.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a close game for sure. Do you expect any difference in the summoner spells here?
Something spells, probably flash teleport for both top laners.
Yeah.
You know what junglers are gonna go. Teleport for Kassadin, ignite for Fizz. I want to see teleport ignite for Ash. Teleport or ignite for Ash. More than likely going to be the heal. Ari going to be going the ignite probably.
Do you think Fizz will opt
Misfortune.
for Ignite as opposed to TP?
Ooh. Now, what you would do at a high level is go for the teleport, but you know,
I
you
suppose it's how
also
much
want
kill
to
pressure you want, right? Because
Yeah, you also want to go for the kills on the Kassadin, so
yeah,
you can go for the
100%.
Ignite here, be a little bit cheeky.
If you can get the Cassidin behind early, it's going to be more difficult to get back into the game and hit that level 16
Exactly.
spike. So that
Misfortune,
Ignite gets a lot more kill
heal.
pressure. Yeah, got to be the heal for Misfortune here. Um, the only person you realistically got jumping on you trying to get some kind of damage onto you is the Cassidin. But once Cassidin hits that certain point, it's not really going to be so much of a trying to get him off you. It's going to be he's going to one shot you. So
Yeah, so also the exhaust would be good here into the Ari, my bad, and the Kassadin. So yeah, exhaust is,
oh, I don't know
I
why that's done
think,
that.
pretty good here as well.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened, but sure.
Okay,
There
so the
we go.
Misfortune
Okay.
opts into the cleanse. Captain Gonzo opting into cleanse here. The Nautilus opting not to take the exhaust, so it's going to be less of a kill lane for either side. The exhaust coming on the Ash, it's gonna be useful somewhat, but it won't be It's not the best play overall, right?
No, not at all. What time are you on? Just to double check.
Yeah, I am at 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds,
Let me know when you get
13.
to 19 seconds.
And I am at 19 seconds.
Cool. Nice one. Do you expect to see any invades here? Looking like a couple of pings are coming down straight onto the bot lane from the Nautilus, but I don't think they're
Yeah,
going to invade
I
just yet.
I want to see Q and I invade here, but it looking like Shuriman and Krabs will be the one to invade. They do manage to tag Bacon up here,
Yeah, there is a
but
volley
no
that
charm
does
coming
hit,
out.
but nothing coming out just yet onto Bacon. The charm does just misanticipates where he is. Boba's going to get like quite a lot of damage taken onto him here. Tomika's not going to look to hook though. I don't think. I think they're realizing they don't win that level 1. Bacon will just walk up into Narbage Day though. I think he maybe can just recall just in time before the wave manages to get to the mid lane. Now I want to talk about the pathing for both junglers here. I'm expecting Lee to. If I was Lee Sin here, I'd probably look to start on the top side, right? Reason being is you've got the option to get a very early kill in the bot lane. Now, although Ari has the charm, if a Nautilus hook hits, we know Lee Sin does do a lot of damage in the early game. So, and Misfortune can as well if you're on the second queue.
Yeah.
So, I'd have maybe opted to start up there, but looking like both junglers are starting for the red buff.
Yeah. The issue is that with the junglers matching each other as they are, since they're both starting bot side, the issue is that they're going to meet at the top scuttle, right?
Hmm.
So who wins the 2v2 here? Obviously the team with the Fizz and not the Cassidon. So he's going to have to be very careful about his pathing. And it's looking like they're both going to be going for a full clear. So they're probably going to be meeting at the jungle or at the scuttle exact same
Yeah,
time.
that's the issue, right? Because there's a hook landing from Atomic. That's a lot of damage going to Karashi, but we'll just walk out. That is an instant chunk going down already in the bot lane. But yeah, that's the issue, right? You've got a Fizz. You've got a Fizz, right, which is going to get priority, but Frenal is always going to get priority on this Lilia. And it's a case of whether Lee can land his abilities. If he can land that Sonic Wave, then he's definitely going to win that trade. But Boba's engaging onto Frenal here. Does do actually a lot of damage on this Cho'Gath, but does actually manage to avoid the rupture with the passive there. And like you said, it's looking like Lee's opting to full clear here. Now, if I'm Lee Sin, I skip Wolves and go maybe chickens red. Or even chicken, just avoid chickens entirely, go to red buff and look to invade the blue, because if you can get the priority from Fizz, then you can maybe look to get an engage onto Graves at his blue buff and get an early pick up there.
Yeah, it's looking like the Graves will be having the advantage coming out of the jungle because I think he just has the faster clearing speed at the moment. But we're gonna have to see when these Scuttle Crabs spawn in just a few more minutes
going
here.
for Scuttle Crab in a second. Actually, I think it's up now. Yeah, it is up now. It's looking like they have got the priority in the mid lane, and Bacon will help him pick up this first Scuttle Crab here. Cassidy did move down, but didn't quite get anything onto him. Bobo's got no mana here, though, and Frenal is deciding to fight him. Does actually manage to hit it, but never mind, the cleanse going down the bottom from Gonzo. The Ignite does hit as well. There's a lot of damage. Can Kuroshu pick up the kill here? The exhaust goes down, but it's fortunately not enough, and that is a kill being donated over to Kuroshu, and that was a lot of sums coming out initially from Gonzo.
They're gonna go straight into the top side here.
Yeah, Narbage Day could pick up a kill here onto Boba. Can he land the Rupture? Can he land enough damage? Does actually manage to land it, and he does flash for it, but he doesn't have enough damage. The minion's there as well, and can't actually get anything onto it. I think he maybe doesn't anticipate how big of a slow that actually puts onto you once that Rupture lands.
Everybody forgets that the Rupture knocks up and slows. It's kind of a disgusting ability, in my opinion. I don't like it, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, unfortunately, fortunately, it's quite an easy ability to avoid. So maybe I'd like to see Narbage Day save that E. Save the dash so you can avoid that Rupture rather than just blow your load straight away as you jump into the lane. But never mind, it is going to be a flash used by Narbage Day. It has been pinged out. So they are aware of that being upright. So maybe you look to see an invade from Lee here. Maybe look to get a kill, knowing that you have the advantage of catching him out and him not having the ability to get out. So
Exactly.
we'll look to see if that happens. But Bobo is looking to get prio in this top lane now.
We'll get it.
Yeah, Lily has decided to opt for a no magic mantle first. I think it's going to be a Merc Treads rush, which
Very
makes sense.
supportive build,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is a supportive build, but I think it's more going to be a slightly tankier Lilia as opposed to a very typical. But it's a very nice run from Atomica though. Amelia has got caught out on this
Oh,
casting
the
in,
early
and
roams.
it is an ignite going down, and it will pick up the kill and go over to an Atomica. But that is a fantastic run from Atomica there.
Absolutely beautiful roam. And that's just something that you can't do on Cassidy. You can't push up like that. That's just disrespectful. And that's a disrespect that might come back to bite your jungler for you.
Yep. I mean, I mentioned it. I mentioned that Narbage Day does not have Flash now, and Atomica and Lee have taken advantage of that and managed to pick up another kill in the jungle. And what started off looking good, unfortunately,
That's quickly turned bad.
yeah, it quickly turned bad, and the Rupture is going to land there. That was a really weird interaction as that E hit there, but it may look for a kill here. No, Bobo does actually die to the Lilia. That is a lot of damage, and that was a very strange interaction. Did you see that?
I did see that. A little bit of Air Jordan right there.
Yeah.
Going for it. But yeah, that was a good solo kill by Fernelli, just understanding his champion's damage versus the damage that an early Cho'Gath can put out. Quite a lot, but not enough.
Yeah. If you manage to land that W with Lilia, it can do a lot of damage. I think the main thing is ensuring that you avoid the outside of the queue. That is Ignite going down to Gonzo, though. He will just walk away from it. But never mind, Bacon's here now. Has been a massive bait. Chum the Waters hits onto Gablet, and he's dead in an instant as Lee picks up the kill, the Sonic Wave. Amelia is here now. Did actually use to TP in, but I think it's a little too late and a bit of a waste to TP here. We'll look to maybe get some XP just to make sure the TP's worth it, but I'm not sure it's enough. Amelia is engaged there now, and the hook does land. That's an exhaust coming out as well. Bobo's looking to fight for an ally here. Does have the chomp, but never mind, Narbage Day's here now. The smoke screen does land, and that's going to be a sleep gun now onto Bobo, and Narbage Day will get donated that kill on the Graves here. And it's looking like a bit of a closer game than the last one, Alan.
Yeah, definitely. Each team trading back and forth, doing exactly what you want to see. If one is going bot side, the other goes top side, and that's just good macro overall. So yeah, they're keeping it super close in terms of gold. Literally, I think this is the most gold lead I've seen for either team. 100 golds apart. So I'm interested to see where this goes even further. But looking at the jungle pathing, I'd have to give the advantage in jungle pathing to Narbage Day. He's consistently had a lead in terms of farm, in terms of camps, over his opponent. And even when he did drop that one time in his own jungle, he still maintains that lead. And that's exactly what you want to see.
That is a hook landing onto Gablet, though, as the charm does hit, but he's going to get kicked away by Lee. The exhaust comes out, and it's unfortunate, but that is the risk you run if you are not completely comfortable on the Lee Sin, maybe.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you'd maybe like to see a kickback, or maybe even just what I'd have done there personally, ward hop into the lane, QRQ, and that is going to be an instant kill there. Rather than QQR. Gablet's going to look to try to steal this, but Atomica's going to notice that and ward over the wall.
Oh, they do catch him though.
Yep. And will he get it? Oh, just unfortunately doesn't hit, but they didn't manage to catch him. I think you're slightly ahead of me.
I think I am now. Oops.
It's okay. I'm on 8:35, 36, 37.
Okay, I'm on 8:40, and I'm gonna pause.
Yeah, I think good now. Go. Yeah, so never mind that we're back in sync now. Does manage to pick up a couple more kills donated over to the side of nondescript humanoids. Very well played. Unfortunately, didn't get the Drake, but there's a really nice Ash arrow coming in from Karishu and managed to pick up a instant kill onto Lee. So yeah, really well played. It's a consolation prize. Did manage to pick up the first Ocean Drake, which means it will either be a Mountain Soul or an Infernal Drake coming in here.
Yeah, one thing I do want to highlight that's a little bit of an issue is the fact that they even opt to take the Drake right there. Because even though they do have the advantage bot side, Lee Sin is not a dragon taker per se. Like, you really want to get him in getting kills, getting golds, farming constantly, and getting an early Drake slows down that tempo. It's a value play, right? The importance of value versus tempo is just one that a lot of teams it's one of the first things you got to learn as a
Yeah,
competitive
there's a
team.
slip going onto Bobo here, but never mind, Lee's here. Bobo's baiting this into it, but Bobo does actually have the passive, but there's a fantastic cue from Lee there. Managed to land him for an alley, but will just walk out, I think, because he has the passive and so much move speed.
Oh
But
God, that move speed.
that's not too bad there, but Amelia is here to try save the day. There's a lot of damage going to Amelia there, but doesn't actually manage to get the flashes into it. But actually managed to pick up the kill onto Amelia. Gonzo's in trouble in the bot lane. The charm does hit. The cleanse comes out as well, but that's an Ashar as well, and you can't stop that with 2 cleansers. And Gablet's going in again, and Bobo's flashing out here as Narbijay looking to engage. And fantastic Q just managed to pick up the kill there. It's going to be another kill in the bot lane as well as Karashu picks up a kill, and that is fantastically played across the board from the whole of nondescript humanoids.
Wow. Yeah, now all of a sudden the goal lead has just ballooned away from about 100, 100 to all the way about 3K. It's a huge goal lead that has just exploded across the board, and their only weak point is the mid lane, and that is something that shores itself up. Just in getting levels, the Kassadin gets so much stronger.
Yeah, 100% exactly right. You don't realistically need to focus on this Kassadin knowing that he scales so fantastically well. Goblet's going to let's get a charm onto Bacon here, but I don't think he realises how much damage he actually does. He's going to flash out, but I think the Ignite and the passive W will just pick him up here. Flashes over the wall, but doesn't actually manage to do any damage to him. But Bacon is in trouble here, though. Does he have the Trickster in time? Can he get out? Unfortunately, no, he can't. As Narbage dead picks up a kill onto Bacon there. I don't think Bacon realised how much damage the passive W and Ignite does there.
Yeah, that was quite a lot of damage, though, so good job from Bacon to take that fight and win it, but a little bit too ambitious. Didn't understand exactly how fast the Ari gets when she hits that Q.
Yeah, 100%. This Graves, however, is in a very strong place now. Has completed the Ghost Blade, now looking to complete some plated steel caps, which not something I'd opt for.
Yeah.
I'd probably opt for Merc Dreads here. I don't think steel caps are necessarily needed.
There's a case for either or, but I do think you're right. The Merc Treads would have been the better option. But here, I'm just looking at the items coming out as we get first mythics in the mid. It's gonna be the Night Harvester, and that's just on the fizz. Just I don't think that's the correct.
But never mind about that for the moment. We've got Narbage getting caught out here, and there's an ultimate going out left, right, and centre. With the bullet time does manage to land, picks up a fantastic shutdown on Narbage Day here, and that is really well played. Fantastically realised to sit in that bush and wait for the engage. Galbert's going to land a charm here. Amelia is here. Lee's looking to engage, but doesn't actually land a Q. The ward will spot them out, however. But Lee does have the rift. Amelia has the rift walk, and Lee may die here. No, not just yet. That's an Ashar going in, but doesn't manage to go through the few of them, and that is a field goal. Going through is good, but doesn't manage to catch anyone out, unfortunately. And yeah, what started off looking positive for Nondescript Humanoids didn't manage to pick anything up, unfortunately. Amelia's going to clear this ward here. Chum the Waters does just unfortunately miss onto Amelia there. Does manage to rift walk out of it. And yeah, no more kills. Yeah, exactly. Really nice rift walk over the hook. Really well played. Lily's doing a lot of damage now. Does have the leeching layer, so does have that slight bit of Omnivamp to pick up some health in this lane. Just going to consistently melt Boba down. I expect him... I think he's going for the Rift Walker, but he just managed to sleep him actually though, and looking to get killed to Boba. I'm not sure he has quite the damage yet, but Narbage is coming up to maybe dive him here, looking to get as much damage possible before he actually manages to dive him. But for an ally, he can walk on this turret and prance around as much as he like. But Narbage Day will be here and will pick up the kill, does manage to use the Q, and that is going to be a kill donated again over to the Graves.
Yeah,
see,
and that's just an extremely strong Graves right there.
It really is. My issue is I'd like to see Fernali opt for the Leandres as opposed to the Rift Walker they're opting for.
Yeah, the Sandries would just burn through this team, just absolutely left them scrambling for their fire extinguishers,
Yeah, exactly.
It's just such a good option here. But of course, the Riftmaker is still very good.
Yeah, 100%. But they will pick up a Cloud Soul, which means it will be a Cloud Drake. So it will be Infernal Soul for this game. Very positive for either team here. Going to be dangerous on this Fizz if they do manage to pick it up here. Fernal is going to look to clear the way in the top lane. Does have a 2-level advantage here, but Narbage Day is here again though. I don't think they have quite enough damage just yet to pick up a kill onto Bobo. Lilia does not have the sleep and will not manage to land that bowling ball. Bobo will just walk out, and that's a bit of time wasted on Narbage Day, but I think he has the Rift Herald now and may look to pop it. Has completed the steel caps. Fortunately, not what I do, but there is a case of both, as Arlant said. And I think it looks like Nondescript Human is going to look to try to get first turret here on this tier 1.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Just rotate around the map, get them, make this Arya a threat, and that's what they're doing. Of course, Analysis will always be the better roamer, but considering that they're not really using, they used it early once.
Chum the Waters will miss though, as Bacon looks to engage, but 3 actually, sorry, of nondescript humanoids are there. The Ash Arrow will just miss as Tomoka flashes over it very fantastically. Gablet's here to do a lot of damage, but it's not enough. The Ignite goes down. There's an ultimate going out to from Narbage Day, but Atomica will just live in about 30 HP. Gonzo's having a 1v1 in the bot lane versus Karashu and will just walk out. And yeah, I think Bacon didn't quite realise how many of the side of nondescript humanoids were there.
Yeah, I don't think anyone realized it, and it came out, and it just happened as a big old little fight that Bacon did drop to. So, they're also going to be dropping the Rift Herald as well. That's just what you got to do. You have this opportunity, use it.
Yeah, exactly. They managed to use the Rift Herald, just managed to take out the first turret, and we'll get a push on the second one. Actually, get both turrets, actually get a push onto the second one as well. Managed to use that. Bacon will look to engage it, doesn't have Chum the Waters just yet. Will be up in a second or two. Lee managed to land the Q though. The Sonic Wave does hit and manage to follow it up as well as Narbage Day. Will look to 1v1 him. I think he wins, does manage to miss the Sonic Wave, but Graves does flash out there. And yeah, really well played by Q and Ice. Managed to pick up some consolation kills here.
Yeah, that's just good stuff. You want those kills as much as possible. The kills where they're lagging behind because they don't all back at the same time, or because they aren't, they just aren't synchronized all on the same page. That's exactly what you want to go for, and that's what you want to look for as a team. So, yeah, I'm looking at the buys coming out from either team. The Misfortune opting for the Gale Force, pretty good, but it might have been better to go for the Immortal Shield Blow, just because it's the same idea, gets you away from danger, but one's easier to activate. One's automatic, and the other is you have to think about how you're going to use it.
Yeah, 100%. Atomica's here to run to the top lane. The Finale's here and looking to just literally land a Q and walk away because that champion is moving as quick as
Light.
Yeah, go for that one. Why not? But Atomica managed to land the rupture hits as well. Lee will on the Q though, and that's going to be kill donated over to Boba. I think he used the chomp actually, managed to pick up a kill there as well. It's going to be stacked being donated over to him. I was going to say as fast as Lightning McQueen, but I couldn't think of his name to be honest with you. My mind just went completely blank. That's going to be Charmlane into Atomica. There's a lot of damage coming out from Gablet and Amelia, however. I don't think they can pressure this turret off. There's an Ash Arrow coming up there. Will it hit? Nope. It'll just go onto his own team and will not hit, unfortunately. That is an ultimate coming out from Gablet, though. Does use it, but just gets instantly silenced, and that is a bullet time coming out from Gonzo. Doesn't quite get any kills, but does force them off the wave, and that is going to be an ultimate used by Narbage Day almost to force them back to and saying, nope, this turret is ours. So really well played. Atomica has managed to land a hook onto the wall, but I think he may be dead here as Amelia will have a Rift Walk coming up in a second. Managed to land it, gets flash incoming from Amelia, uses the W, picks up a kill there, and I think Atomica slightly overstayed there, Alan.
Absolutely. That is... Yeah, like I said, each team is just abusing the fact that they aren't backed. Their backs aren't synchronized. Their game plans aren't all on the same exact page, and it's just something that needs to all be on the same page, for either side, or else these lagger kills, these straggler pickups are going to keep happening, and slowly the gold lead is going to go back to about equal.
100%. There's an exhaust going down from Karashu though onto Bacon, and fantastically played to win that 1v1 there, Alan. Really well played.
Very well played. One thing I just want to highlight from both of these AD carries is just the way that they've been using their summoner spells. Earlier, Gonzo baited out Finale into almost... No, he did die. He baited out Finale into dropping the sleep, cleansed it immediately, and turned the damage onto him. Now, with the exhaust coming out from Karashu, the same thing happened.
Yep, exactly. So I think Bacon maybe just underestimated how much damage this Ash can do. Does have the immortal shield, but now also has that extra shield as well. As someone who likes to play assassins, I can confirm that item is the worst item in the game, and I hate it with a passion. But there's going to be engage onto Finale here. Does have to sleep, and the Lilting Lullaby could go onto Atomica, but it doesn't actually opt to use it just yet. You want to use it on the carries there, and the bowling ball will come out to try and land it on that important person. But I think it's looking like they're looking to potentially just play this slow here, nondescript humanoids. Q&I opting to stand around this Drake here. Hook does just miss into Finale, however, but they want to stop them getting the soul point here and waiting for someone to engage anyone. Bobo does manage to land the rupture, but there's a lot of damage, and Finale's going to get hit by the Chum the Waters. Bacon has had his tricks out here, and nothing going on just yet. It's just a lot of poke going down. There's a ward going to go over the wall. Charmers land onto Bobo here. Is poking back and forth. Q&I will start the Drake here. And it's looking like they're looking to engage as well. Bacon's off to the side looking to engage. And that is a fantastic bowling ball landed onto Gonzo, just the person you want. The sleep's going to go on, but no one can quite engage in it. Just a bit of a waste there. Bobo's going to get charmed here, looking to fight the Drake, who will pick it up here. Emilia gets hooked, and Bacon's on Kerishu. Can he pick up the kill here? Doesn't have the exhaust, but the enchanted arrow goes down, and Drake's still not dead. It's still alive here. Narbej is looking to finish it off. Q and I know they have to back off here. Nondescript, who knows, do actually manage to lose the Drake, and Lee picks up a kill, however. Consolation kill onto Emilia on this Cassidin. Bobo's just stuck in a strange position here. Can't quite get out as Gonzo gets a kill donated over to him. Fornali's going to look to get a kill on Atomic and will quite pick it up. And that is going to be an ace from Nondescript Humanoids. Fantastically played.
That was absolutely well played. They are just understood that, okay, they don't have anything. They wasted so much on this early poke fight, on this early Drake fight, this early Drake dance. That, what can they do to go in on us? So they just had to kite away from the misfortunate. They just had to turn on Bacon once he dropped the ultimate, tried to go for a Kerishu, and then after that, the fight just collapsed all around them. I think the mistake for the side of Q&I as... Ooh.
I don't think Bacon will quite die there, though. As Fernando's looking to get a kill onto Gonzo here. Does walk out as Narbage Day. It's a bit of a trade back and forth, but I don't think he even realise that they don't have enough damage just yet.
Yeah, but basically just what went wrong was that they started the dragon far too early when they should have probably kept the Drake dance going as long as possible, because like Bacon's ultimate is such a low cooldown that you can toss out like 2 of those in a fight if the fight goes out long enough.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it was actually very well played from Nondescript Humanoids here. Do manage to prevent Q&I from getting that soul point. And I think it's getting closer and closer to the point when Amelia's getting to her power spike, right? He's level 11 now, so does have that extra damage on the ultimate, but Bobo could get caught out here. But the rest of Q&I are here, though. Will the sleep get put on? Will the lulting lullaby get used? No, it will not. I think they've realised that the rest of Q&I have shown up. The cavalry is here. And I think it's just going to be a standoff here. And I don't think anything's going to happen just yet. A pink ward does get put into the bush, but will get probably taken now, as there is another one there as well. Emilia is a strange position here, but does have Rift Walk for the escape. And I'd like to maybe see a hook go out from Atomic there, maybe force that out.
Yeah. Trying to do that. There's just this Baron dance that comes out, and that's exactly what you want to see. You want each team to be setting up this vision so far in advance for the actual play. It just makes sense, you know. You just gotta look for it here. But if you're Q&I want to see them go for turrets, try to get some gold back into their pockets, try to really drag them across the map.
Yeah. Bobo's going to take on the turret though, but could die here. Does have a lot of tankiness here, but Bacon's looking to get a flank off here, but never mind, Kerishu's here as well. Does he have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow? Yes, he does. Can he land it? We'll probably use it onto Bacon here, as Bacon looking to get away, but they don't even need it. That's a lot of damage coming in from this Graves, and Graves picks up a double kill. He's very, very strong. The ultimate comes out from Gonzo, but it's not enough. Lee's looking to pick up a kill here, but Emilia gets donated another one, and this team and Nondescript Humanoids is not letting them get away with the 2L series here, looking to end it as soon as possible, looking to prove that they can also come out and win a game.
Yeah, I think they can win the game off that right here. They do have enough damage. They do have enough sustain on their carries. Even the Ahri has somewhat, enough sustain, and they do have the teleport from Emilia. So yeah, they can definitely win this game.
Yeah, whether they will decide to or not, I'm not quite sure. They do have the damage coming out. I think they'll opt for the inhib and take a reset more than likely. Look for the Baron. Yeah, I think they're going to do that, take a reset here. The rest of Q&I is coming up now. I think they'll just look to hit jungle camps maybe and take a reset here. Clear vision. Smart thing to do maybe. Could be quite risky to end the game. But it's not exactly a bad play or a bad call at all. You don't want to throw the lead you've got here. Have managed to bring this game like when the game looked a bit rough and looked like Q&I were coming back into it, just managed to shut them out pretty instantly here. This is a 2-item Ash though. who is very, very strong and looking to finish the third item now. So I'd be very afraid if I were Q and I.
Yeah, but at the same time, if I'm Q and I'm not despairing just yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a 10K goal lead, but you know what I'm seeing on their side that what is it, crabs don't exactly have? They have such a good wombo combo. They can pull an SKT versus EDG right here.
Yeah.
They can get the Cho'Gath, they can get the Lee Sin pick, they can get chum the waters onto multiple people, then they can just layer the MF ultimate over top and peel with Atomica. They still have a chance to come back. It just takes perfect play, execution, mechanical ability that can definitely come out from them.
100%. We'll look at the goal lead here and we'll see that this Graves is very, very far ahead of this Lee Sin here. Does
Super
have about
far.
about a 4K gold lead here, unfortunately. Across the board, there is quite a goal lead across all the lanes, really, despite realistically the mid lane. But there will be a Lilting Lullaby going into Bobo here. Does actually manage to get cancelled on the auto attack there. It will probably get picked up here as there's so much damage going out. It does have the demonic
Oh my
embrace, and
god.
he's so, so strong. And I think Q and I, just knowing that they cannot do anything, have to give up this Drake, and that is going to be a second Drake going over to nondescript humanoids as they manage to pick up a second Infernal Drake.
Yeah, that's just what you want. That second Inferno drink on to mostly the Cassidon, I'd say, right? Because like that Cassidon has been is the most bruised and battered on this team. So having the more damage onto him means he doesn't actually have to build damage, and he can just focus on getting levels, and he can focus on getting more defensive items.
Yeah, exactly that. I'd maybe like to see Graves opt for a LDR maybe at some point
Maybe even a
soon.
GA. He has such a huge bounty protect. A GA would be massive here.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely got a lot of item builds here that he could opt for. Um, I think this Lilia has definitely been a massive problem this game, though. Uh,
Absolutely.
just consistently causing pressure, forcing Bobo out, and that's going to be a charm line that's Atomic, and that is so much damage from the side of nondescript human. I did not
Oh
expect
my
him to die that
god.
quickly. That is enormous. Um, isn't tanky enough just yet though. Has a Sunfire, has a Locket of Lance Rally, not enough actually. That is a really nice kick though by Lee, and the shutdown has gone
Woo!
down onto Gonzo. Managed to pick up a double kill there, but that is not enough damage to survive that. As Karashu does manage to land the ultimate. Let's Chum the Waters hits by
Oh
Bacon though. Will get
no.
donated over to him, but Narbage is going to pick up another kill, and Boba's going to get 1v1 on the top lane as a solo Bola more than likely going over to Lilia. The demonic embrace will do enough damage to burn him down there, and that is so much damage from this Lilia, and that's going to be an ace coming out, the second one from nondescript humanoids.
Yeah, and that was just a whole series of misplays from each side. Firstly, Atomica stepping up and just getting hit like that, just no bueno right there. Followed up by them doing a little bit of infest on their own, trying to get a pick onto Lee, and Lee just kicking them back into perfectly timed Misfortunal, and then Misfortune just walking a bit too far forward so the Ash could put the damage on her, forcing Bacon to go in for a 1v2 scenario. But yeah, these teams are still, they're playing really well. Either side, both of them. Neither of them are giving up, and both of them are looking for picks to try either to end the game, come back into the game, or both. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could take a couple of miracles to get Q and I back into this game, um, but I don't think it'd be too bad if they don't manage to pick it up.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm looking at Gonzo's build. I like it. I like the executioners. A lot of them have some form of heal cut, but I think they might have gone too overboard. Like there's too much heal cut actually, because that is an 800 gold investment for a lot of members on the team, right? I think would be best on Cho'Gath, Nautilus, and Misfortune. Lee Sin probably doesn't need that 800 gold investment, and neither does Fizz. You just want to get it onto the characters who will apply it to as many other characters as possible.
Yeah, 100%. Looking to pick up a Baron here, though, and it's looking rather difficult for Q and I here to get anything back in this game. Amelia's hitting a wall here, but actually they will hit another wall, and that is a Nautilus wall, being a kill picked up by Gonzo, and that is a support Ari. That's 1v1 in a Misfortune. What a world
Oh
we
god.
live in. That's a lilting lullaby landing onto not only Atomica but also Lee as well. Bates Bacon trying to do anything to get away from this, but I think it's just a never-ending story that is going to die as the Graves and Lilia do chase him down, and I think it could be game over here though.
It definitely is game over here. Good gameplay from Krabs to come back. you know, they they lost game one. They came back with game two, even stronger response, and they um, really made a statement. You know,
Yeah, a hundred
and I like it.
percent.
I like the statement that they made.
Yeah, I think they like to do this a lot. You know, Shuriman, section on the script humanized. They like to bring it out in game two and decide not to win as they decide to actually play the game. That is a charm going to land by Gablet, showing that this Ari support actually means business here. And there's a spectator bug, and that will mean that game two will go over to the side of nondescript humanoids. That'll be a 1-all series.
Absolutely. Each team played super well, and they played it each in different styles. Fernali lost top lane game one, came back and hard smashed top lane game two. So yeah, shout out to both teams. Really showed us different looks for them, and that's something that you want to have going against other teams. You want to have different looks so they can't just counterpick you and ban out certain champions, ban out certain play styles. You want to have multiple looks, and I like what I've seen so far.
100%. If any players from either team want to hop in for a bit of a chat, a bit of a walkthrough of your games, then please jump into the waiting to be moved, and we'll drag you into the call. A bit of an interview for you. See if you can talk us through the games. If not, no worries. We don't have to. That's completely fine.
Yeah.
Gonna get a poll out for you now, guys. See who your MVP is for that game. Who would your MVP be?
Ooh, that's a good question. So there are two options for that. There is one, the finale, of course, on the Lilia really did work, and it doesn't really show in the stat line as much because Garbage Day did come up, take about 3 or 4 of those kills, um, but really they dominated top lane and they ran the show from about minute 5. And my second option would be Gablet here on the Ari pick.
Ye-
Unique pick. Definitely did a lot of work. Was off to a rough start early, but definitely bounced back and did work.
Yep, 100%. I think we got Gavin for a quick interview before we get into the next series.
Hello,
Hi, Gab.
hello. Yes.
Well done
Um,
on picking up a second
thank you,
game. You
thank
like
you.
to do that, don't you?
Yeah.
Pull a
I like
game
to have
back.
a bit of a troll game into a good game.
Yep, exactly. But no, it was really well played. You pulled out the Ari support. I didn't realise what it was until the last second. But yeah, no, you managed to pull it back. Just talk us through your games anyway. How do you think they went?
I mean, there's not much to say about the first game. Throw just kind of, Nah happened.
Yeah.
And then I saw Nah like 7 minutes into game and he one-shot me. I was like, okay, well, what can I do?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he didn't even ult me. He just like literally ulted me a few times, went mega and pressed Q and I died. And I was like, oh, all right.
I guess you know that your top laner doesn't like to play into Nar now, though, right?
Yeah. I think Nah might be one to stop going through.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a difficult matchup as it is anyway. But no, like you did really well. Finale pulling out the Lilia top. Is that a champ they've been playing a lot, or is it just something you decided to opt for?
I mean, he looks the little. To be honest, we got near the end of that, and I was just looking at the comp in the draft, and I was like, "Oh, our comp's shit." Like,
It was
this
kind of
makes
rough.
no sense. I was like, you know what, bro? Whatever, pick whatever you want. You want to play Lilia? We'll give you Lilia.
Yeah, no, that's I mean that's not a bad way to think. Realistically, just do whatever you want. But it made for an interesting one for sure. It was very fun to see Ari support one shot carries. She one shot Gonzo
I
at the
mean,
end.
yeah, that was when she starts to get damage, it can be kind of oppressive. I mean, it depends because you can play it so many different ways, and I just went the damage way because I thought, they're probably going to ignore me, right? I can just jump on the back line and try and one shot at MF.
Mm.
And I mean, it's
You have a question
yeah.
in chat anyway. Why didn't he pull out the Lilia in game one versus Nara instead of the Ornn? I think it's a much harder matchup, and I definitely be able to bully the lane the same way.
We forgot Unleashed was a Noah one trick, and I couldn't be bothered to go look up his normal account. So we're just like, whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll just pick on. I'm sure he'll be fine on. And then Noah came out, and it kind of went sideways.
No, that makes sense. I think we'll have to shoot off. I think we've got the second game coming up now if they haven't decided to already start. But yeah, thank you for the interview, dude.
No worries. Have
Peace.
fun.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Right. we'll get the second games going. I don't believe I actually have any of the teams on league. I'll try add one of them now. I think I've added one of you. I'm not completely sure. Let me know. Looking like there is a draw on the MVP. Frenali and Gablet. I think I've got to give it to. I'm going to give a co-MVP there. I'm going to do it, Alan. I think they both deserve it.
Yeah, I think they both definitely played out of their mind. It was a hard comp to execute on. I'm not gonna lie. They do have a lot of true damage on in the comp. You know, both Ari and Lilia have true damage in the kit, but it's such a AP heavy team. You know, you really have to be careful how you played it. If they had just done a few things differently on the side of Q and I, it could have been a much different story, and we could have been sitting with a different person as a MVP here.
Yeah.
But they played it well, so props to them.
Exactly. I think we're going to get into game 2 if it's still happening. I'm not sure if it is. I think it is.